Gotta oil that.
Squeaking. You want a little curl oil with that?
Yeah. I think
Oil
it's this,
smells so
this
good.
right there.
It does.
I got some if you want it.
Whack. But that Croyle, man, it's like
It would smell like that in here for days.
I was gonna say, I think last time we used it on a chair or something.
Yeah, it was a chair. We used it.
It was
Close your eyes, you can still smell it.
you're just gonna start
Lingerer.
using it for fun at some point.
I use it for
It just
everything.
smells so good.
Yeah, I use it for everything.
toilet seat. Just pop it on there.
I do have a can at home that has like lost its pressure.
Yep.
So last time that happened, I just jammed like a screwdriver into it and poured it into like a little like dripper bottle. 'Cause
Yep.
I was like,
It's,
this is precious liquid.
it's like avocado
Yeah,
oil.
I can't lose any.
It honestly is very expensive.
It is expensive, but man,
1 and 2.
does it
Mom and
work?
Dad in the chat.
Jeez, they're
Mom
on
of
their
C.
game.
That's it. I'm C.
I still
In case you didn't know.
don't, Momo FC. That's
Yeah.
Momo FC.
that's what I read at first.
Oh, right.
Chuck doing over here? He's running a fucking sideways show.
He's running a sideways show.
There you go.
Not the first time I heard that.
Matt Wood has to be up at 4
4 a.m.
Wow.
That sounds like no fun.
Yeah, that's too
Why
early.
4 a.m.? That's too much for me.
That's too early.
That's very early. It's right after the witching hour.
Control gig at Toad's Place.
I don't know what Toad's Place is.
That's a
Those places
that's a
in-
venue. Yeah.
yeah.
music-
Okay,
music
okay.
venue, yeah.
I don't know who the fuck Jerry Cantrell is.
Is that in
Toads is in
Connecticut? Where New Haven, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a good
I've been
venue.
there before for a couple of shows.
It's a dope ass venue. They have a rainforest bar. I'm making it. I'm selling it way bigger than it really is.
Rainforest Cafe?
Rainforest Bar.
Yeah.
Just like a Disney.
It's just like there's like leaves and frogs on the walls, and then there's like a smoke machine hidden somewhere.
At real frogs though.
Real frog. Yeah.
It'd be cool if there were real frogs.
All you hear is fucking ooh ah 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 ah.
Yeah. Matt, skim a few outy parts off the top. We can use them.
Right, boss is out.
Yeah.
Hook us up.
That's it, Jordan. We got the whole crew here.
He's here.
All right.
He made it. I wonder if his mom knows.
His mom definitely doesn't know. All right, let's see for S&Gs what the last episode was you were on.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it must have been. I want to say it was like maybe around 2000, like maybe later 2022.
How late you thinking?
November. As almost as late as it gets.
November 17th, 2022.
That's wild.
Look at that.
Holy crap.
How the fuck did you do that?
That's crazy.
Did you do that or did I do that?
Both. Well, both.
Well, I just
remembers
searched.
Teamwork here.
Yeah,
but
I just searched. He had a great memory.
I do tend to remember like weird things.
Yeah.
Which is great.
He's like,
That's
there's
good.
no way I
Yeah.
recall.
It's a blessing and
but
a curse.
I think it was
Comes
like
in
November
handy.
17th or something.
Yeah. I think it was a Wednesday, definitely.
Sure. Wednesday, log it in.
We went-
Actually, if you think about it, if you know it's 2022, you know you're in November, you only have 4 things to pick from.
Right.
Yep,
Right.
exactly,
You
right.
really narrow it down.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially if you like, oh, you know what? That was Thanksgiving, so that eliminates that one. Yeah.
I want to say it was like after SEMA, which it was.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But I don't know if SEMA happened that year because they canceled it one year because of
Correct.
'cause of
Right.
this-
Because
everything going on.
2022 was kind of getting back to normal.
Right. Yeah. I think they did SEMA that year. I think
Yeah.
I did
I feel
that.
like they did.
I think I did it that year.
That was
you guys-
November 1st through the 4th in 2022. They did it.
Yeah. I remember the year they canceled it. They did like a whole campaign about how they're not going to cancel it and how they've like increased their staff for
Yep.
making sure everything is clean.
Wow, it even happened in 2021.
It did.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, so 2020 must have been the year of the canceled
No,
SEMA.
it absolutely did not happen in 2020.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because right, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember seeing that and been like, there is no way.
Yeah.
Not a chance. Like, we're going to have everybody social distancing at the booths.
It's,
Have you ever been there?
yeah. It's absurd. There's
Whoever
just
made that.
hundreds of thousands of people
Yeah.
in one hall at a time. Yeah. I'm glad to see it's still going. It's are you going this year?
I'm not sure yet. I think so. We have our tickets.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
like tentatively have our stuff there, but we were out there last year, and I didn't go the year before because that was the year my daughter was born.
Yep.
So
Pretty big year.
yeah, it was a
Solid
big
year.
one.
Solid year.
But then the next year I was there, and that was my first time being away from her for like an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
fun,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'd love to make it 1 year.
Oh man,
It's worth it.
It's absolutely worth going.
Yeah, it's tempting every single year. This year, it's not. It's because I was
I have
talking to
so many
Ludwig
different
about it.
ways to go. Like
Yeah.
I have this,
Yep.
I have friends,
Yep.
and then I have my day job,
Sure.
which now intertwines with the automotive world completely,
Right,
which
right.
would allow
Printing,
me to
right?
go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like vehicle wrapping and
Yeah.
all that stuff there is
There's
a
a ton
huge
that.
part of the
It's
industry
huge-
now.
Yeah, a ton of it there.
So like I have so many different variations,
Yeah.
and like there is a world in which it can go and it's a complete work trip.
Yeah. Figure it out. You can do it.
Yeah. Not this year. This year I wouldn't be able to make it. Maybe next year. You never know.
Just get some good walking shoes.
We wrap a car. CP gets a booth.
Should have gone the year of the Cybertruck.
We bring
That's
some
like
printers out
everything.
there. Right.
Yeah.
Seriously,
It's
you
like everything had a wrap Cybertruck.
That's like a rapper's
every
cheat code.
company was like, we have a great idea.
Yeah. You know, I went to I forget, it was either Print United or one of the big. There's like two big like think of the SEMAs of the
Yeah,
print
yeah, yeah.
industry that happen each year, and one of them it was like every booth you could see big square
Yeah.
thing
yeah,
and
yeah.
like every booth getting wrapped,
That's really cool.
and it was like impossible not to make the same joke every time. I'm like, this isn't a good example because it's just a piece of sheet metal.
right.
There's
So it
no
doesn't,
like
if you're trying to
complexity, like,
emphasize,
doesn't
yeah.
demonstrate the capability of the
look at how
material.
good our
Right.
media is, and look at how good the stretch is, and like look at how we can handle the curvatures of different cars. It's like this is a terrible example, guys.
Right.
And also, like we frequently see like squares on cars too.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
really applicable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, that was kind of the ha-ha of it all. It was like, I think everyone thought they were going to be like the cool guy getting the Cybertruck, and then it turns out like everyone kind of shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
They all are Spider-Man.
Yeah. It's exactly the case.
So,
See,
I think
Matt.
the coolest thing one year is I saw, it was like the Lexus LC500.
Oh yeah.
Which is like kind of like
yeah.
that convertible big thing. Chuck always like waxes poetic over it. And like that was cool to see get wrapped because it's a huge car with a lot of different like shapes.
That's an interesting one, right? Because there's a lot of long panels on that,
Yeah.
but not flat and easy.
Yep.
It was we've done usually it's like a Model 3 or Model S.
Sure.
Something like a Rivian's 1 year or whatever. So
Shook, you good over there?
Yeah, I'm on call.
I
Good
figured
stuff.
that's
you
why.
get Numby's quick?
Oh yeah, you know what? Let's do that real quick.
Yeah, if you want to grab that and then we should be good to go.
Big shouts to everybody in chat. TDs, hope you're doing well.
Yep. I'm gonna
Matt
click
was
it.
mentioning PRI. Wasn't Mr. Lynch just mentioning that in the last?
He
episode?
was,
was.
yeah.
I know he's been a few times maybe.
I think so.
Yeah, I think he mentioned that. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
wearing a Lock City shirt. while
Were
I was-
you?
Yeah, listening to that episode. I was like, hey.
Hey,
Perfect.
Actually, I bought this Lock City shirt.
Oh yeah, you got
I
one. You got
staggered.
one. I didn't see it.
This is cool.
yeah.
It totally blends in LCD BMW logo
Yeah.
with like this incredible.
Oh yeah, that is
It's like BMW
that is
on
a
the
sick
back.
design.
Yeah, that's killer. Did Foss do that?
Cool shirt. What's up?
Did Foss do that?
I
Like, did he make
imagine.
that? I'm pretty sure he designed
What is it? Let me see. The back? Yeah. Oh, he did make an M51. Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah, very cool. Very applicable.
Yeah.
Now I need one of those.
That's it.
Big M50 guy.
Big. Classic BMW
We don't
guy.
make
Classic.
enough red shirts. I'm talking about black shirts, but
Yeah.
I can't have anything but a black shirt. I fucking
Right.
destroy them.
Same, dude. Same. Every time.
I was telling Josh earlier. I'll tell us now because it's totally irrelevant to the podcast. I was telling Josh earlier. Came this weekend. We did a oil change. It went south. I was covered.
Oh no.
Covered in oil. And I'm like, I took the Honda here, and I'm like, well, I can't get in the car. So like, it crossed my mind to like walk home.
Okay.
I'm pretty close.
Yeah.
I'm covered in oil. And then I'm like, I'm not walking home. This is too much. This is too much. And I'm like, I can't get in the car. I don't have another car here. So I grabbed a Revival shirt we had.
Yeah.
Threw away my shirt.
Uh-huh.
Then took my pants off.
Nice.
Turned them inside out.
Oh, perfect.
And then I got like, I had some like scrap paper from next door. Put that down on the seat. Drove home. And I got home. My neighbors were there. And I was like,
Don't mind me.
I was gonna like hope they don't notice that my pants run inside out. I got like pockets hanging on the outside.
yeah.
It looked like crisscross, whatever that.
It's a
rapper
style these
was from
days.
the 70s
It's a
or
style.
80s.
It's a style. It's coming back.
Just passing through.
Yeah, totally covered in oil. It was a messy one.
Yeah, boy.
Messy one. Yeah.
Yeah. Not what you want to do.
Here is that number. That's the monetary one.
Okay. All right. I got that.
This one right here. Yep. And then, oops, where's the other one?
Your eyebrows didn't
Statistics.
raise, so I think I still have a job.
And then that. Oh yeah, you definitely do.
Tight.
I basically said I was gonna quit if we got over $1.
Oh, don't say that.
Well, it's just to see if they would donate. You know,
Oh, okay.
We
see what if the people
on
want. They want.
May 1st, 2024, we came very close.
I
We had
I remember.
98 cents, man.
Remember.
Never forget.
A day, never forget. A day in history.
A day in history. I have it written down, actually. I have our top 5.
You know, I think what people need to hear is that next time you go out and get yourself some type of beverage at a store, you look at that beverage and you ask yourself, you look into your soul and you say, is this bringing me more happiness than the Revival Motoring podcast? And if
Definitely
you can
not.
say truthfully yes, then okay.
Sure.
Why not?
Right.
But I don't think you can.
Why not both though?
Oh, okay, why not both? But
Right.
If
right.
you just paid for the drink and then doubled it and then
Sure.
gave us the other half,
sure.
I mean,
then you could have your cake and eat it too.
right now, Starbucks has the pumpkin spice lattes.
Okay.
So like,
I'm lining up.
There is a lot of joy in that.
but I mean that brings a lot of joy, right?
I'd
like-
borderline suck a homeless man off for one of those.
I think I'm not a pumpkin guy, so then I also not a coffee guy, so
All right. Yeah.
I don't share the joy.
What kind of
Sure.
guy are you?
DC,
Not a pumpkin or a coffee guy.
DC, and Reese's.
Yeah.
How tough are you?
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
But yeah, you know, $6 for a PSL or $2 for us 4 times a month.
True. Pumpkin spice
Do the
latte
math.
for sure.
Beyond 4 times, yeah. All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Josh Garcia, and this is the Revival Motoring Podcast. As always, I'm joined by Corey.si.
Hello, hello.
Shook TD is here.
Hey,
Mr. Edmund himself is here.
that's crazy. I think I just threw up my mouth.
It's kind of like eggnog.
Eggnog,
Yeah.
Mr. Eggnog Edmund
That's me.
is here. The old EG himself. And then, of course, our good friend, Mr. John Hall from Bag Riders is here.
Hello.
One of our biggest Revival supporters. He's been a friend for ages. We have a lot of stuff to talk to him about in the bag world, suspension world, especially in aftermarket components and different things like that. So we'll catch up with him on that sort of stuff, his projects. We'll hit a couple callbacks immediately and then just kind of go from there. So that's what you can expect from us this week. So we appreciate you tuning in. Big shouts to everybody in the chat as always. We thank you very much. And if you want to support the show, you can go to revivemotoring.com. You can sign up for the B4B. Buy some merch and all that good stuff. So let's just do this immediately.
If you'd like to leave a callback number, press 2.
And shout to ZHP_192 in the chat for the $4.99 donation. Bucks for the Shook getting his swap done for Staggered. Congratulations on that, Shook. You did complete it. And I was actually just complimenting you outside because you've basically done 3 motor swaps. And each one of them has been successful in the car and ran and drifted without crazy hiccups, without a crazy issue.
That's right.
That is very cool.
It's
That is very cool.
especially
That's
this
right.
latest one. You know,
Well, it's
that's,
an M50, so
but it was a pretty massive change overall.
yeah.
So, you know, and you had the interior out for whatever reason, right?
Yeah, I put the interior in when I had the 302,
Okay.
and I was like sick, and then I did the motor swap. I'm like, why the fuck did I do this? So I had to pull it all
Okay. Right.
again to do things.
So it wasn't, you know, and realistically, you did it in about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks at most.
Basically, yeah. Like as soon as the motor sat for a little bit because I just wanted to like clean it, and I barely had time to work on it. But yeah, in 2 weekends, I had it. Literally 2 Saturdays, I had it in, bolted up, running.
Yeah.
So
And drove a Staggered this past weekend, 2 days or 1 day?
one day,
Okay.
didn't break an axle.
Solid.
Didn't use all my tires.
So I was going to say some good wear on the tires.
Showed up with 50% wear, left with wear mark line. Just beating it all day. Like, I don't know.
Are you happy with the vehicle?
Yeah, like, you just got to send it. It's fun. Like, it's like, I think I posted on my story, like, M50 reminds me a lot of B-Series Honda, where you're just beating it.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be even close to speed, if you want to call it speed. But you're just like foot to the floor, like third gear, like, all right, well, this is it. This is the best that I can do. So I have to go this fast just to be normal. Like
Yeah.
As
normal
much as it has
speed.
to offer.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that I realized that, and now I'm understanding why people obviously go turbo and stuff other than wanting to go faster, is if I'm following someone and they shallow up or
Yeah.
hit brakes,
Making up that distance.
I lose my momentum. They just floor it and pull.
Yeah.
And if I floor it, I stay right where I am.
You're
and
there. Yeah.
yeah.
It's got to build back up to it.
Basically, I have to straighten out and dive them.
Yeah.
But, that's part of learning. And I don't know, dude, I had a fucking blast.
Which is good because it gives you another, layer of driving.
Yeah.
Right?
And two things. First thing is shouts to Jimmy because he basically saved my weekend. I blew a power steering line that was a low pressure hose. He had two in stock. He gave me one. One of them was a corrugated hose dressed as a high pressure line. So I blew that one by the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I waited 2 hours to drive the last 3 hour session. And I got 2 laps in the last 3 hour session. And I was in it to win it because I was there. I'm like, fuck it, I'll stay. We'll get home late, but I'm at least going to get to drive for 3 hours. So it's just sick. Second lap, blew the power steering hose. And I
Perfect.
did not bring the other one
Yeah.
because I was just like, well, everything's fine. The other one blew in minutes.
Yeah.
And then the other issue, which Corey alley-oop saved my weekend, if you will. The lockout pins on my shifter weren't installed, like the little screws.
Yep.
So there was no like little pull. I don't even know what to call that. It's like under the shift knob. You pull it up so you
Yeah.
can get into the lockout. For
It's kind of the
reverse.
release.
Reverse lockout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that the kid that I got the shifter from basically took those pins out. I just had the slide.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
there was none. So I'm like, well, none of that's there. So I'm just gonna remove this pin. Yeah. I'm gonna remove this pin in spring because now I can fit my center console in and not cut it. I did have to cut the little cigarette lighter bottom thing, which is fine. I have another one, but I was like, whatever, I'll cut it. So my center console goes in that little U, if you will, the field goal.
Yeah.
So I get there, and the first lap out, I'm like putting around it in second. I'm like, all right, sick. The next lap out, I'm like, I'm just gonna go for third, like I was when I quit, or like took a little dirt nap from this,
Mm-hmm.
and entered in third. I went to go downshift into second, and I could not because I kept hitting like the reverse lockout.
Yep.
To the point where I think I did like 6 tries in a row, and I'm freaking out. I'm mad. Corey I was sweating. I was shaking. I was so angry. But I got up to the line, and this dude that was working there, I've never seen him before. He's like, hey, last lap, like wrap it up, basically. And I was just like, oh, the heat's over. But then I'm trying to fix it, and people are still driving in that group, and I'm like, oh no, I think he just kicked me out because I suck. So I'd never seen this dude before, but I was boiling now, like double boiling, because I'm like, this motherfucker. I drive A group every fucking time I'm here. I had like the who the fuck is this guy complex.
Who do you think you are? I am.
So yeah, exactly. But then so Corey was like, well, just put a bolt and a nut through it.
He comes back boiling, dude.
Yeah.
I
Boiling.
can't even think, bro. I'm like,
he
shaking.
can't think. It's a very simple problem. I look at it. I'm like, here's what we got to do.
He's like, what's wrong? I'm like, the fuck, I can't even.
You had the rage blinders
third,
on. Yeah.
So I was like, just go find a bolt. We're going to put it in the hole. It'll act as a lockout. It'll be fine. Your hardest part of the day is going to be finding a bolt. How long did it take you to find a bolt?
10 minutes.
Not 10
Shouts to
minutes.
Zach Foss,
Maybe
baby.
5.
Yep.
Yeah.
I took one of Zach's toe mount bolts, threw it in there.
Yep.
Had fifth, no reverse. That made for an interesting Dunkin'
No
Donuts
reverse
run.
was funny.
It was
he,
funny.
had, he had to open the door and
Push
skateboard
it, yeah.
backwards.
Okay.
But it was the best free bolt
Yeah.
fix ever. But I went back out there.
Second to third, third to second worked.
Beautiful.
Yeah, love that.
First fucking third to second out there. I was like, screaming at the top of my lungs. So I'm like, fuck you. Fuck it. I come up the hill like this. Fuck you.
It's like the most basic
He
thing.
might not have been standing there. He's
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what the fuck's that guy's
Yeah,
problem?
what's he
I
so
could
excited
just-
about?
I could just picture you listening to Kid Rock fucking Bawa to Baz playing inside the car and just fucking.
Coming up
It's
the hill.
interesting seeing the car out there and it not making any noise.
Any noise.
No
Just
noise. Because like when he had the 302, it sounded like
very loud.
Bigfoot.
Gravedigger.
Yeah,
One of the best. It's one of the
Oh,
best.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting seeing the car out there, and it just kind of comes by. It's like, wow. It's just, like very like
That's a-
BMW straight six kind
Right,
of like,
yeah,
not even like raspy, just kind of like,
Yeah.
just,
That was a very good. Like that's a perfect. That's
yeah. So, yeah, overall, I mean, killer time at Staggered. It rocked. It was cool. We were there Friday. Both cars passed tech, the Miata and the Civic. It down monsooned. Monsoon. My wife texted me like an hour before we got it, and she's like, I'm in a parking lot right now because it's completely flooded.
Yeah.
Like 40 minutes away from where we were. And I was like, I wonder if it's coming here. It looked like it was. You could see it in the sky. Monsoon. And then it cleared up. And then the boys got a bunch of driving in. I did not drive. It was just, track was like wet. I was like, you know what? It's just, I'm good.
Right. Okay.
I'm good. I'm all set. I don't need to prove anything to anyone out here.
Sure.
Everyone else was enjoying their time. But Saturday, I mean, it was 75 and sunny. Most
Yeah.
perfect,
It was
beautiful, day. Got a good amount of driving in.
Had some liquid deaths.
Liquid Death had a big off in the Honda.
Sausages.
That was good.
Did you?
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And any
No damage.
Okay,
No
that's
damage.
good.
No. I was driving, and there was this kid out there. He was like a white BRZ with like a red bumper,
Mm-hmm.
and he was out. He was an incredible driver, and he came by me. I let him pass, and then I was kind of just paying attention to him driving, like where is he driving? But I was following him at his speed,
Yep.
and then I was like, oh, this is not good.
It's
and
not
then like,
apples to apples.
yeah, and then I kind of like started to turn in. It was good, and then it just kind of like I was on ice skates.
Wasn't good.
Yeah, I was on ice skates, and it went off, and then I actually went off right under a flagger. So like I get off, it's car neutral. I like hang my head out, look up at him, and he's like he's like, get the hell out of here. Yeah, he's waving the yellow flag, telling me like, scoot, get out of here.
Yeah.
And I like pull out, and like one of our friends, Warren, comes by, like screaming in his Volvo, and I wasn't disoriented, but I was like, I know the rules are like you go off, like it's time you got to get off track.
Yeah.
So I could put my fist out, my left fist, to get off track, and then it dawns on me, I'm like, I'm on the complete other side of the track.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna drive around the whole time with my fist out, like letting people know that it's like. So I was like,
Shame. Fist of shame.
It's a shame. So I just kind of drove offline, got off track, and was like, inspected it. Everything was fine with the car. It was good. Went out for a few more sessions, and then had a grand old time, man. But it was great. Like driving the B Series, it's like coming down the straight. It's like every 8,500 RPM,
Yeah, yeah,
every
just screaming.
ounce
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it.
Just buzzing.
Yeah, it was a great time. Chuck brought a Blackstone.
Okay.
We had a hell of a kind of like a driver's
guy.
camp going.
That's awesome.
Yeah, hell of a driver's camp
Yeah.
going. He brought some like, what the hell did he brought? He brought burgers. We had some other stuff. He brought some sort of steaks or whatever. And then we kind of ate. We ate it all Friday. We were like, all right, everyone raid their fridges, go to the markets, bring back stuff tomorrow.
Yeah.
Everyone shows up the next day with the same item. Everyone brought hot Italian sausages.
Okay.
We ended up with like 40 hot Italian sausages.
You're like the fucking sausage guy at Fenway.
I brought 8. Someone else brought 8. I think Chuck brought another 6 or 8, whatever.
Yeah.
Someone else brought some, and then something else. We ended up with just a ton of hot Italian sausages. It was a great time.
Nothing like a
Everyone had
hot
great time.
Italian sausage on a hot summer day.
Oh man, that was a beautiful day.
Especially on a Blackstone.
yeah, right.
Oh my god, people were walking by. We had the Blackstone rip in. We were all passing out food. We had so much food.
They're taking notes.
I didn't
Yeah.
like how Chuck was handling the wieners.
Was he?
He wasn't a big fan. He was pulling them out of the package and he was slicing them before he put them on the Blackstone. And Chuck was not interested in the way he was handling.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
really just.
Yeah, not interested in the way he was handling.
Dare I
it.
say a familiar position?
Just
Yeah.
how he was cutting him, he's just tapping the knife on the side. I'm
Yeah.
like,
it's really
He's
sharp.
just breaking the
knife.
skin.
So you're not doing anything. He's like, buddy, it's a sharp knife.
No, he's gonna break the skin.
Yeah, just breaking.
I don't think it
the-
did. I don't
the
believe him.
filler. Just breaking the prophylactic.
But Staggered was incredible. It was a great time.
Did you get to see Big Seat Chris run his heater?
Yeah. So we have a Big Ski Chris. I'm
Yeah.
sure you're familiar with the character of the show.
Yep.
He did a 1:15.2, which is like
I looked,
boiling.
and it's
Yeah.
like 6 or 7 fastest laps there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Like-
And the thing is, there was 2 of them.
Yeah.
There was him and his friend. I don't know, Nate, maybe. I might have got that wrong, but they're both in E46 M3s.
Yeah.
And they were cooking.
Wow.
It was really cool to see. You see one car moving that fast, you're like, oh, that guy's a good driver. You see 2 of them,
Yeah.
like
yeah,
kind
it's
of
really
like
cool.
nut to butt.
Yeah, yeah.
That was cool. I
Shake
was
and
like,
bake.
Yeah, they were, real Ricky Bobby going. But
Yeah.
it was really cool to see that. He was cooking, and he was driving really, 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 really well.
Some of the cars that are on the list that are near him and like above him are like, oh, that's a GT3 like cup car.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
it's just like
Right.
that's crazy.
Yeah, hell of a
That's
driver.
super cool.
Staggered's definitely on my gotta go. I haven't been to Staggered since oh man, probably at least.
When it was at the golf course,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like probably 10
Yeah.
plus years ago at this point. And
the 3-day event setup they have now is incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got almost a full day Friday, so much driving time. You've got almost arguably too much driving time on Saturday. Like at some point, I was just like, I'm just gonna get off.
Right,
Like it's too much.
Yeah.
So at some point, I'm just like, I'm done. And then it's like you can drive. You guys drive in the drift, and then
Yeah.
they got to drive in the track,
It's a
and
nice
then
change.
and
'Cause
then
you
it's
can
like
watch
the
fast
skid pad
guys.
just open, so you could just go up and drift a skid pad. It's like so much full day, so many cars, so many people, and then they have the car show thing
Yeah.
on Sunday.
You know what they should do? Get rid of the car show. Do a big comp.
Hmm.
They should do a time attack comp
I think
and a drift comp.
a comp could work really well around the car show. I think the track portion of it is like a big attraction for people at the car show. I think it's a cool thing for them to watch.
Maybe they
Yeah.
do like a 100 best cars in Connecticut or wherever they're coming
Sure,
from.
yeah.
Right, something. Right,
Like
right,
sick, like 100 percentile builds, but like keep it about the racing and shit.
Right.
Because it was so much fun. I just wanted to do it one more day.
right. Yeah. Well, next year go Friday.
Couldn't you have
Yeah.
drifted Sunday?
Lynch asked me if I wanted to do like the demo day, so I guess I could have, but yeah, I got a bunch of shit going. I had to do it. I had to recoup from getting that shit ready last minute
From your
basically.
blood pressure being at fucking
Yeah, and, like,
190 over 80 or something.
I only had one extra set of tires and shit, which probably would have lasted me, but I was just like, fuck it. Like I had my fun. I didn't want to push it,
Yeah, I feel you.
but I would love to like camp and just do all 3 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big shouts to everybody in the chat. Stairs, Norton, everybody getting ready
Mark
for,
II gang.
for
I was
Roots.
chatting with John earlier today.
Mark II gang
up,
getting
John?
ready for the Journey to Roots.
Yep.
So
That's another show on my gotta go list.
I'm going for the first time
Oh,
this
heck
year.
yeah, man. Heck
This
yeah.
year, I'm going to see what all the hullabaloo is about. What everyone's honking their horn over.
Right. Yeah. I
No,
mean, it sounds like a real good time.
I'm excited to go for sure. But anyway, yeah, Staggered rocked.
I hear that, John. I hear that, John.
You should see if I don't know how Bag Riders can be involved in some way. But
Yeah. No, we always
It'd be
we
cool.
evaluate it. These like the show circuit every year, and this year we made some changes.
It's definitely
see new stuff.
You know what's cool about Staggered is that I've been so since they've done the 3-day, I've done year 1 and year 3. I couldn't go year 2, but I've seen exponential growth from year 1 to year 3.
Right.
But also like efficiency of running it has gone way up as well.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Very, very
that's a
timely.
big aspect. I
Very,
feel
very
like, I feel
timely.
like enjoyment of like
Yeah.
as like an attendee.
Yeah.
And it like also is like an event, like a sponsor vendor, like being organized as the event organizers, having them be able to communicate really well and
Yeah.
show up. Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, it was great, and I mean, people just kept rolling in. Just you'd see trailer after trailer coming over
Yeah.
the bridge all day Friday, all day Saturday. For whatever driving time they could get in. But it was great.
Hey, can I just like rip this thing upwards?
You can do whatever you want. Yeah.
Sure. Just do it. There you go. I
There
was
you
going
go.
to say right at that hinge, and it should hold right there.
Where I am now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Perfect.
I didn't want
That's
to.
great.
Yeah, nope.
Are these new stands?
Those
These
two
two are
are,
new.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember there was one that was perpetually like falling down.
This was this one here.
Yeah.
Okay,
those
I didn't
two.
want to start ripping on it. And
No.
No,
cause
no, you're
some
good.
Sadness.
That one's air-filled versus this
Ooh.
being
It was
uh,
new till you broke it.
Well, I love air-filled things.
Yeah.
So,
It's
you know.
true.
So-
It's true.
Yeah, it's kind of the wrap up. It rocked. The boys drove the Miata, the wheels off the Miata. We had special guest Jesse showed up. He put on a clinic driving think of like a Mark V Rabbit you would probably see in the junkyard. You'd pick some parts from.
I can see it now.
Okay. Now think about Jesse Witzel driving that and outrunning everybody.
I can see it clearly.
Just outrunning everybody.
Yeah.
And it was really, really cool. And like the cars he couldn't outrun the straight. He was like, I made sure I was like in their door
Yeah, yeah.
for like all the corners.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was great to have him there. Really got some good insight from him as well on different corners.
Shout out to
Phil in the
Can.
chat.
Phil came. He saw the Mark V. So I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is the third party.
Literally an absolute pile of a Mark V.
Oh, dude, it's such a dumpster.
Was it
had
the gray
hay-
one?
No, it was the white one. No, the gray one's like nice. It's like
Okay, all
prepped.
right. I've never even.
It had hay inside from getting hay for the horses. Like
All right.
Was it on? Like, what did it have? Its suspension? Was it even?
It was like-
Bilsteins.
Okay.
It was literally
Bilsteins and
lift
brake
kit,
pads.
stock wheels, hammered. The outside looked like it
Wow.
drove through a fucking like grocery store.
Horse farm?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Bilsteins and brake pads.
And
Amazing.
it
Amazing.
stunk of fucking rubber and brakes. Every time he came back, you could feel the heat off the brakes.
Yeah, he'd come off, and you can see like the vapor from heat,
Yeah, yeah.
and you just see him rolling towards you, and it would just be like emitting.
It's
Wow.
like, it
Yeah.
looks like fucking Top Gun.
yeah.
So,
Oh, that's perfect.
yeah, it was cool. Great time, honestly. If there's any way for you guys to work it in,
Yeah, yeah.
you should. I know Revival Boys definitely enjoy being there. I know there's some other people we talked to who were from some other brands or companies, and they were like, "We didn't choose a van, we chose to drive."
Sure.
But we can definitely do both.
Yeah, yeah.
I would
Because like we kind of do both. Like we vend, obviously. Like
Yeah, stuff's there
we have,
to. Yeah,
we have
Yeah,
our
yeah.
stuff to sling, but it's also like a driver's campus
Yeah,
for
yeah.
us as well.
right.
So
Yeah, it's kind of
rocked.
a good home base for everything.
I wish it wasn't the same weekend as Final Bout,
Mm.
because then a lot more people would come to drive.
someone said the same thing, and Garrett had a great rebuttal to that, and he's like, there's only so many people that go to Final Bout.
A lot.
There's not that many from the region that end up there.
I don't know about that.
I don't know how many people from like the New England region end up at Final Bout. Like two teams are out there.
I bet it's 25 to 30 people together, realistically, something like that. Maybe more.
I would say that if it wasn't the same day, you'd probably get at least 50 to 60 more people right away.
Think so? I don't know. Anyway, but that's up to me to figure out.
But that's and that's they do, like, they aim to do it on Labor Day weekend every year, right?
Yeah,
It's that
it's
kind
the
of
great
thing.
thing is it's like everyone has, or most
Monday
people
off.
have Monday off. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like people can devote the weekend to doing it because they have the money to then go back to like real life
Yeah, sure.
and catch up.
It's going to be a tough one for me here on out because I fortunately got to go to the Lime Rock Historic Festival,
Oh.
which I don't even know why I really had the itch to like, oh yeah, you know what? I want to check that out. It'd be cool to shoot some of those cars, whatever. I don't want to miss this event anymore.
Yeah.
It's so fucking cool.
yeah, yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised. I happened to mention to Stairs that I'd be interested in going. He's like, "Oh, we're actually going." Him, his brother, Tommy Toot Toot with the Lancia, and Andy, they were going. Fortunately, John's brother, the company he works for, actually, let me pull them up because I always forget how to say the actual name. But they had a spot there. So we were wined and dined and had a place to just throw our bags and hang out, catch some drinks, all that good stuff. Marsh McLennan Insurance Company, go check them out. They invited me to go there, so I was pleasantly, surprised how cool it was. The spot was on top of the hill, so you could see the big FCP Aero billboard. I forgot what turn that would technically be. I don't know if it's 4 or 5, but it's going on to the Paul Newman Straight. It's basically right at the top of the grassy knoll. So it's a really cool spot. So come down the straight, right? You take the right.
4 or
A
5.
little bit of that's what I think. A little bit of the S curves, and then
Not
it's
many
that
turns on that track.
left, and then it goes back to the straight before you start to head towards the uphill. Paul Newman Straight. So it's right there where home base was. But the cool thing about the track is I didn't apply for media credentials for this because it was really kind of last minute. And I'm like, there's enough spots where I can shoot over the fences and kind of that sort of stuff. So it worked out really good. This time in comparison to Grid Life, I kind of stuck around to the first corners and tried to hit some good drift corners. This, I just went around the entire track and found some cool spots, especially the uphill. It was really cool to see all the cars load at the bottom of the hill and then, offload all their weight as soon as they get to the crest, especially when they're moving at a high rate of speed. Some of them, the pre-World War I cars, they're moving.
They are moving.
They're moving. But it was super cool. It's just an opportunity to see some of these cars that typically you're just like, oh, these are museum pieces that never get driven. It's like, no, these dudes here, they're all fucking in their 60s and out of their minds.
Yeah.
Which is like, all I kept thinking was, man, when I'm that old, I hope I'm that fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's just, they're in a bit of an FR suit, toss on the helmet, and they're just in this fucking open wheel, open top, I don't know, Alpha.
Right.
From the, let's say the 50s.
Yeah.
Going 120 miles down the front straight. And you're just like, holy shit, dude.
It's like that will
It's
literally
wild.
evaporate.
Yeah,
if something
yeah,
goes
exactly.
wrong.
There's very, very simplistic machines.
Yeah.
Some really cool stuff. There's a couple guys I spoke to after the fact. The dude in that number 4 car, that Ferrari thing. I honestly don't even know what it is. There you go. There's a fucking SR. What the hell was that?
Viper.
GT America Viper. I forget what the series that it rolls, but the dude in the red Ferrari with the gold wheels. Is it number 4? No, not number 4.
Point them out to me.
I forgot what photo it is.
I know
It's-
Josh really took a photo of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
That's a good looking car.
focus on that. Where is it? Keep going up. That one, number 30. Right. That whatever that thing is. I don't even fucking. It's a Ferrari of some sort.
Oh my god. Okay.
That dude. I talked to him briefly, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, I'm after I partake in this, we're loading up and go to Goodwood." It's just like, oh,
that's
cool,
a
man.
crispy
you,
photo.
you live a different fucking life.
What a
at that.
photo, dude.
That is a
buddy.
great picture, Josh.
Yeah, that's an incredible photo.
My
It is
other
so
one,
good. Wow.
A lot of megapixels here.
Yeah.
This is why you don't use Instagram.
Yeah, I fucking hate Instagram, especially for photo wise. Like there's one, I don't know where it is.
How many megapixels are we looking at here?
A lot of pickles.
Is it like 40 megapixels?
Look
60.
at that.
Wow.
We got the 60 megapixels.
466 is around there.
Yeah.
I need 60 megapixels.
It's so for this, it's motion. You just got to be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
am
Where is
not.
it? Where is it? Keep scrolling down somewhere here. It's probably one of my favorite photos I've taken to date, and I want to blow it up. That one's cool just because it's
Yeah.
all the load is off the car.
Yes.
He's basically cresting. I think the rear wheels might be close to coming off the
letting
ground.
his
Yeah,
load go.
it's getting pretty light.
That one right there. That one.
Perfectly parallel with the car.
It's just super cool, and I want to blow that one up and print it. Matter of fact, we're supposed to give stuff away tonight, but we'll just wait till next week so we can do it. I don't want to disrupt this episode more than we already have, but I want to blow that photo up, and I'm going to give that away. So we'll print it big, decent size. Like I said, I want to print 1 or 2 of those for the shop anyway, maybe put it in the bathroom, and give one of those away. So that's what we're going to do. But that shot in particular, I was really stoked about because as you can see, it was somewhat cloud coverage, and I don't know if anybody's ever been, or a lot of people I'm sure have been to Lime Rock. Depending upon what time of day it is, there's fog, there's always clouds kind of rolling in and out. You're in a valley. So this was actually taken while there were some clouds above. So you'd get those light pockets going in and out, and so shade, not shade, all that sort of stuff. So it timed so perfectly to actually light the car with an open, the sun, no clouds, all that sort of stuff. And with the wheels and all that very, very well. So
Really beautiful picture, man.
thank you.
I feel like if you went to Hobby Lobby and you went to the car photo section,
put that.
that is the exact photo.
Yeah.
that they would have for like the man cave.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
I get to meet Josh finally.
Yeah.
He's friends with everybody. Who Scott helps on their team. He's out there, fucking just keeping up with cars way out of his league in a 1.9 liter, GTI. Matter of fact, he was in the same class as the Viper. Let's just put it that way. Him and they were on the track at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
I forgot what the reasoning was, but they asked him like, "Oh, can you compete in this class?" He's like, "Whatever, fucking show me what the starting line is." So it was super cool. I like the change of the different classes that you see. Most of the time, each class gets to run 2 races. That's another ridiculously crisp photo, dude. Like of the dude, you can see the man.
See his nose hair.
I was just saying, you can see what kind of glasses he's wearing inside.
Look at that thing. That's the epitome of safety.
Dual eye protection.
No, I'm saying just the car itself.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's perfect. No, matter of fact, I would say from that photo, I would say about 10 to 15 minutes later, that car blew up on track.
No way.
No.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah, down. It was coming from just after the uphill. There's a pretty decent straight before you get to the set of curves again before you start the downhill. I rookie move, like put my camera down and I was walking and I just wasn't ready to take a photo. That car buzzed by me and I just heard thum, thum, and I look back and there's a fucking ball of fire coming out of the back of it.
Oh no.
And I'm like, holy shit. And he kept going, got to the backhand side and pulled off and the car was just engulfed and it
Ooh.
stopped the
Wow.
racing
You
for a
hate to
few
see
minutes
that.
and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I didn't actually see how much of it was on fire, but I was walking the other way because I wanted to get back to the hill.
Yeah.
And there was a plume of smoke.
There's more
coming
fire
from-
than there should have been.
Exactly. Yeah. It wasn't,
Not a good
So
scene.
is
Not
this
the
like
best.
wheel to wheel?
oh yeah. This is full on racing.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. Full on racing. I forgot what it was. Because I found a couple of these guys after the fact.
Yeah.
I too am crusty.
Found a couple of these guys after the fact on YouTube, and a lot of them do run GoPros and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of their laps, and it's just like, oh, matter of fact, there's one of this blue Alpha, I think it's an Alpha, some Italian job, car on there, and I found his channel. He's a coach driver. But the POV from that is just like, oh, this is way cooler from the inside.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's rattly, it's noisy, it's just fucking, there's it almost looks steampunk in a way at some
Sure,
of these
yeah.
vehicles because they're pulling levers and knobs and all that sort of shit, and it's just a cool take. There certainly is, a lot of money and that
Sure. Yeah.
that feeling to it, but everybody's there to have fun, and like I said, these dudes are just out of their mind and want to thrash these cars. So
Love to see that.
it was cool. It was fun.
Anywho,
Yeah.
any call
So
back for you? Now that we've been yapping.
Let's see. Actually, on my way here, I was thinking of a revival episode wherein you were discussing the roadway and highway system in America.
Josh
Yes.
did that episode.
Yes. Because as we were coming here, we took a variety of 1s and 2s.
Yep.
And I was saying, well, I know what these are doing now because of Revival Motoring.
Yeah.
So, there's my callback.
that was one of the funnest ones to research
Yeah,
because I'm
I
like,
bet, yeah.
it all makes sense now.
I really liked it.
Like there was a
you know,
purpose.
And hey, man, I'm the type of guy that reads. Well, I try to read the signs at museums. Sometimes got to take a picture and read it later. I got a small child, so
Right. That's how it goes.
hold on, let me read.
Yeah.
How does it work out?
Let me do this.
It's right after that episode, I learned about it again because I watched a serial killer. What are those things called?
Drama.
Documentary.
There
Documentary
you
where
go.
basically they figured out he was a truck driver because of the way that they were killed, and they were like, the roads have numbers that correlate to north and south and west and east, and I was
So
like,
it was just
"Oh,
on
son
the
of a
route
bitch."
that he traveled.
Did
Yeah.
John talk
Yeah.
about this on his?
So there's
podcast?
a
think
whole
so.
nother one
Okay.
called I think it's New Bedford Highway Murders.
Yeah. Okay.
Still relatively matter of
Yeah.
fact, still unsolved. There's a lot of what do they call it? Poppin' circumstances around
Yeah, right.
one individual in
Yep.
particular
Yep.
who has left the country and is just too old to really pursue, I guess, these days.
Have the killing stopped?
Yeah. Coincidentally,
Coincidence.
they stopped when he
Coincidence.
was
Fled?
removed or whatever you want to call it.
Conveniently went away.
Yeah, but perhaps the Portuguese police have crimes on their hands that they cannot solve.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe.
maybe it was Garth Brooks.
Maybe. You know what? Hey, could
Yeah,
be.
very well. But yeah, the highways and figure, being able to locate where the hell you are just by going, all right, that's 85, so that means I'm on this section,
Yeah.
and it's going to intersect with a major city at some point. So if I
going
just
this
keep
way.
walking, I'm good.
Yeah. It's Vermont around Burlington. We have 289 and 189.
Yep.
But it's 289 that is like kind of in a weird middle stage because it started to get built and then it stopped getting built. So that's kind of one that like doesn't follow the rules
Yep.
of the getting back to 89
Yeah.
thing because they were like in the middle of building it and they found like some environmental concern. So it's been
Yep.
nothing's
hold.
happened. Yeah, exactly. On hold
There
for
was
the last
something
20
like
years or
that
something.
around here. It might have been near Boston or something like that, where there's a whole section of highway built,
Yeah.
but it stops because there's like a residential area and they're like,
Oops.
no, not anymore. You're not doing this.
Yeah.
So it was just like, oh, we'll forget that. Let's
Right.
just build it around it.
Yeah, we'll keep going this
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, but I really did enjoy that episode, and it's very practical knowledge to have.
Yeah, yeah. It was fun research. It was good.
We
I
could
gotta
get you out
find
of a
another
jam
one.
at some point.
It could,
Right.
I always get prepared if I'm blindfolded, drop somewhere,
Yeah.
like I got to find a highway sign.
Right, right. I'd be
That's
comfortable.
my first thing I got to do.
If I seen a route, I'm generally pretty comfortable
Oh,
in
yeah.
where I am.
First
Matt-
things first. Do I have my kidneys?
solid check. Why is the side of my body stapled?
Oh God.
Damn it. With that said, we did callbacks. We'll do the B for B real quick. Then we'll talk to John,
Cool.
That's it.
right?
I'm here.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
That's what I want.
Shook, you want to do the B for B? You know how to do it?
I'd prefer not to. I feel like
You can do it.
no.
It's a value
no,
for value system.
I'll back you up. You
Okay.
go.
Okay. What is B for B, you ask? Well, that is Bucks for the Boys, and that is how we monetize this podcast. If you noticed, we don't have any ads up front, in the middle, or at the end on the old caboose. But what we do have is the B for B. That stands for Bucks for the Boys. You can go to our website, revivalmotoring.com, and there you can sign up where there are 4 options. Monthly donations for less than a Starbucks pumpkin spice latte. You can try to help the boys out. $2, $5, $10, $20. You can even manipulate those. Say you wanted to give us $22, you could do that. We don't see any of your information, anything like that. It gets hit on whatever card you provide, and it's there. And when you shut it off, you shut it off. That's that. We don't control it. You're not obligated to do it for the whole year or anything. You can sign on, and hey, you want to support us for 6 months, you can do that too. Whatever you do, we appreciate it. You can go to our website once again. You'll see the landing page, Bucks for the Boys. We understand it's forever and probably forever will be an economic hard time. We take other donations as well. We spread by mouth.
Sexual donations.
Tell everybody about us. Tell your friends, your family, your veterinarian, whatever, your highway murderer, whatever. Doesn't matter as long as you're playing us. Tell them to listen. You can send us different things from time to time, whether it's spy shots or photos. We heard about a new Z that's coming out, and that was basically confirmed. We heard about the Z coming out way before it was even a thing.
That's true, yeah.
We
Yeah, you
probably
guys
knew.
called it.
We probably knew about
Yeah.
the Z before Nissan did, to be
right.
quite honest. So you can send us all that sort of stuff. No matter what it is, we appreciate your support and all of that. Again, if you are an active B for B subscriber, you automatically be entered to win some stuff from us once a month. Like I said, at the top of this, we're going to make a print of a photo I took, and that is what you are going to win. So it's going to be like a one-off, or maybe one of 2 or 3 at the most, that you'll have. Won't be for sale, any of that sort of stuff. So you want a chance to win that? Sign up for the B for B. That is all I have that I can think of. I think I covered everything for that. How do we judge each and every episode? Well, we have a numerical judging system that we used to send out to NASA, but Corey does it here on the fly
Brought
every
it in
week.
house.
We brought it in. What are those numbers, Corey?
Drum roll, please. This week, 27 cents per listener.
27 cents.
Job security.
A little more than a quarter.
little more.
Little
Skosh. Skosh
It's a
more
big
than
deal.
a quarter.
It's a big deal. Josh, what if I were to ever want to make like a one-off donation? Could I ever do that?
You could, this guy, see, he knows. You could go to PayPal and type in info@revivemotoring.com. We accept PayPal donations. Hell, it could be for 1 cent, $20, $100, whatever. Whatever you say in that message, we are obligated to read it. So if you're not getting it, this is your chance. If you want to promote something, you can promote it in there pretty
Absolutely.
easily.
I've done this before.
He has, and he multiple times. So that's a good way to use it. Again, info@revivemotoring.com, at our PayPal as well. So with that said, we're going to skip the news because who cares?
Fuck the news.
I don't think there's much going on.
There probably really isn't. I haven't honestly paid much attention.
News time comes.
There's a lawsuit in NASCAR. The Loses Fast Boys cover that plenty. Michael Jordan's involved. 23XL, the NASCAR team. I still haven't watched the F1 movie. I got to watch that at some point. I think it's available digitally now,
I think so, yeah.
supposedly. Got to do that. Yeah.
All right.
That's all the news I get.
There
So
we go. News segment done.
let's talk to to John.
I was hoping to harmonize with Chuck on the news segment.
We can play it for you.
Have
just
to
if
wait
you
for
want.
another time. No, I really wanted to harmonize, so I was going to ask, but it's
The live acapella group.
yeah. Maybe next time.
We'll make sure that happens. We'll put in that request. So, John, what is happening in your world? Obviously, Bag Riders is dare I say, or I do say, I don't dare to say, I do say, a leader in the bag industry,
Thank you.
right? For
Yeah.
aftermarket bagging your car components, from the struts themselves, from management, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Probably the most knowledgeable group in the whole industry. I
Yeah.
can say that, and I do stand by that. There's some changes that are happening.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on in the air ride industry, and Bag Riders. For anyone who's unfamiliar, we're the one-stop drop shop. We are air suspension experts. We've been doing it for 16 years. Bag Riders just turned 16 this summer, so crazy. And there's our homepage.
We're shopping a fifth
Can I
gen
tell
Civic.
you, I didn't even know that there were other air companies. That's how great of a goddamn job
Well,
you're doing.
thank you. Yeah,
I swear to God, I had no idea.
Well, yeah, that's.
I was
that's,
like, oh yeah, bad. You can bust
That's
it Bag
fantastic. Bag Riders, we are the largest retail distributor of air suspension in North America.
Big shouts to Will there, right in the photo.
There's our guy, Will,
Yep.
setting up your suspension for ride quality or stance. And at Bag Riders, our mission is to help people have a great air suspension ownership experience. And that sounds like at face value, it's like, well, that doesn't sound too hard. But there's a lot there's a lot more to it, man. Air suspension in that blog post is a good kind of example of it. But air suspension has this like really unique trait about it. I think I was saying this to you, Corey, when you were visiting us over Wolfsgart. But unlike pretty well every other aftermarket suspension or any suspension that you could have on your car, like the factory suspension or like coilovers or lowering springs, pretty much all those, like you get them out of the box and you put them on your car, like your car is probably gonna like feel pretty good, or at least how it's like supposed to feel with that product on it. And with air suspension, because it's a user-controlled suspension, right? So for those who are unfamiliar, air suspension really it comprises of two major parts of the system. We have the air suspension itself, which replaces your physical suspension parts in your car. And then there's all the stuff that controls the air pressure and the air springs, and we call that the air management. So as a user of your air suspension system, you have the ability to, via a controller of some sorts in your car, raise and lower your car with the controller. And what's happening when you do that is it's increasing or decreasing the air pressure in the air spring. And that's how you get the up and down of air ride. However, when you're increasing the air pressure in the air spring, you're also increasing the spring rate, right? Because air pressure that's what it's doing. So when let's say you get in your car and you crank all the air springs to the very highest pressure you could fill them to, and that's really common because people are like excited about air ride and they want to go all the way up and see how the lift their
They
car
want a
has.
monster truck.
Right? It's like, look, I can have my car way up here or I can have it on the ground. And of course you can. However, if you think about the fact that you've just essentially turned your spring into a cement brick,
It's a solid beam.
it's a
now.
solid beam.
What's-
Your
what-
car is going to ride really, really poorly, right? And like
Yeah.
that's easy to understand when you think like, oh, my spring is now a brick. But for some reason, there's this technical misunderstanding about like air springs and air pressure and how it's just very different than a coil spring, when in reality, like, your car is suspended by a spring. It doesn't care what the spring's made of, right?
Right.
It doesn't care if it's made of steel or if it's made of rubber and filled with air.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when you increase the spring rate and lift the car up like that, and you end up with a brick of a spring, it's going to ride really poorly, and it could really damage the suspension itself. As inside the damper, you have the piston is essentially becoming like a slide hammer against the top of the damper tube, and then that can lead to premature failure. So, that's something that a new person to air suspension might do right away after they get it in their car, which is understandable. But then they have this horrible experience and they're immediately dissatisfied. They've made a big purchase and they have this bad taste in their mouth. But that's where that's where Bag Riders is here to help guide people to understand how to set up your air ride, how to dial everything in, and what you need to do to have a great air suspension ownership experience. And of course, it also goes into having like a good installation as well. I always tell people, like, when you're running your airlines, just imagine you're running a brake line. Just
Right, treat it the same way.
imagine that. Treat it the same exact way. And it's a really good, in practice, way to do it too, because the manufacturer already put lines going from like one place, usually in the engine compartment, like the ABS pump, out to each wheel well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they put them there for a pretty good reason.
Yeah.
Some smart engineer somewhere determined that's a good place to put the lines.
Probably
so.
considered
Heat. Yeah.
movement.
A lot of things.
New England
that-
rust.
Yeah, maybe not that one. But fortunately, airlines don't suffer like steel brake lines do. Anyways, yeah, so there's a lot of ways you can go about it wrong. And there's a lot of ways that you can have a really poor experience just through like really easy to make mistakes.
It's
Yeah.
comparison, especially to cars with coilover springs, different things like that. You can't just, for the most part, let me just swap my spring real quick.
Right. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
change my spring rate. You can do that with a bag
Right.
just by adjusting the air.
Right. And then it's kind of further complicated from there, and that like when you get a set of coilovers, like it's probably valved and sprung appropriately for your car. Like it's whatever, presumably you're buying, like if you're buying a reputable item for your car, there's been some thought put into the dampers valving and the spring in accordance to the vehicle that the suspension's going on. Now with air suspension, you have that user-controlled variable spring rate, as you pointed out, and therefore it's pretty difficult to have a damper that is appropriately damped
For everything.
for that entire range of the spring. And like with Superlow, which I can talk a little bit about, we really put a lot of care and thought into that specifically.
Yep.
So yeah, overall, that's where Bag Riders is here for. We want to provide the air suspension community. As I mentioned, we've been around for 16 years. It's still the same four guys. We have about 17 people now, but the same core four people, myself, Alex, Kevin, and Will, that have met many people over the many years. But, we're just car people, enthusiasts, part of the community, and through an incredible journey, Bag Riders has grown to where it is today, and we're really proud of that.
It's no small feat.
Thank you,
You're
man.
almost you're pushing 2 decades.
Yeah, it's wild. Like I do sometimes like make sure to pause for a second and be like, man, this is
Especially
still,
because it's not
coming at-
like it was this big existing conglomerate.
Oh yeah.
It's
I wanted to
this-
bring this up because
Yeah.
I really appreciate you had this on the website.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I hope we've updated it more. That's a little bit of an outdated staff photo, but
Yeah, that's
you
fine.
know.
So at the bottom of the website, I found it was like our story.
yeah. Hopefully this is updated. I think we did an update to it somewhat recently, but yeah.
but just even the early years of like, hey,
that was at Wolfscart.
this is just like an easy up you get anywhere.
Yeah.
and like a quick printed banner, and here we are.
Yeah.
That's myself and Kevin
And
fulfilling.
I really enjoyed this because I've recently visited your facility now,
Oh yeah.
and this is like
It's a lot different.
the broom closet.
Yeah, comparatively
to what you
yeah,
have now.
yeah.
there is a broom in the background,
Yeah.
or a mop at
oh
least.
yeah.
So
Look how fast they were moving too.
Oh my,
Back in those
that was a joke. I was like, I'm packing those orders so fast.
yeah, gotta get going.
Yeah, and these were that's a suspension we made way back in the day, a custom Subaru GD. This
And
was
it's just incredible to see this stuff grow.
Kevin and I. Kevin is an electrical engineer. This was actually his college project that turned into a Bag Riders product I did all like the programming for like
Yeah.
the network communications between the smartphone and the computer, essentially in the back, the ECU that controls the valves.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, man.
Let's
yeah.
go. You let
many
him rip.
silly. All right. Because you said each bag basically is its own spring rate, which
Yeah.
would mean
Yeah.
every vehicle, this perfect spring rate is variable.
Yeah. You're
So-
right.
So every vehicle you offer a bag for, is there a recommended PSI that you say to drive at?
For super low, yes. For
Nice.
and that's part of what we believe makes part of the great ownership experience with super low. Every single application that we've made a kit for, it's been one of us at Bag Riders, like we collectively perform the R&D on it to develop the recommended spring pressure and the damping profile for that application. Because at the end of the day, like it takes us longer and it's much harder. But we, as enthusiasts, as car people, like we feel like it's the right way to do it. And at the end of the day, like I want to be like talking to a person at a car show and they're like, hey, I have a Lexus LS430, which is what this is for. And I'm considering super low. Like I'm worried about XYZ. Do you think I'll like it? And I can look at that person and say like, yeah, man, I think you'll like it because I do. And I've driven a lot of slammed cars and a lot of different modified cars through Bag Riders largely. So I'm really grateful for that opportunity. But I feel like we collectively have a pretty good sense of like, does this feel right? And we also have means of mathematically making our ride experience consistent through measuring of the frequency. But really that's kind of at the heart of it. So yeah, recommending spring pressure and damping is part of our, part of what we get when you purchase through Bag Riders and you're able to get that.
So that
handhold.
dampening, you said you have a limited scale, right?
Yeah.
Are you able to share some of that information?
Yeah,
Is there a percentage of
definitely.
like, hey, we try to land in between this?
It really depends on the application. Like for example, for like a double wishbone car, you have different wheel ratios, and you have different like spring pressure required to like hoist that vehicle. So like let's say for the LS 430 or 400, I want to say like we were measuring like dampers north of like 1,000 foot-pounds at like high speed damping. And like for those, if you're unfamiliar with how damping is measured, you have high speed and low speed deflection and damping force. And most of the time, at least with like the most common like monotube dampers, which is like what this is, and pretty much like when you're buying an aftermarket coilover these days, they're almost always monotube dampers. Most of that damping is happening on the high speed circuit. As opposed to low speed circuit. And what that's referring to is the shaft speed, not like the speed of the vehicle. It's the speed at which the shaft is moving.
Yep.
For a high speed or a low speed event. Like a low speed event would be, for example, like going over a small speed bump
yeah.
and the damper goes up and down. Whereas a high speed event would be like hitting a pothole or something like that.
Right.
Or like a bridge union where the suspension's like, gung!
Yep.
That's a high speed
Just
event.
that quick motion of
Right.
the shock doing its thing.
Yeah, so basically what we're able to do with that is utilize basically on the inside of the damper the design of the piston and then the shim stacks. We can manipulate that to give us a different range of damping. And usually a few hundred, right? Usually a few hundred foot-pounds being the difference of like the range that we can achieve through that. And with super low specifically, that's something that it took like some real like learning and growing as like technical people to like really put forth like the effort to have a great supplier relationship that can like meet our expectations. And like that we can have a trusting relationship with, like they know that we blind sample dampers because we import the dampers for super low, and we blind sample them to make sure that they are the damping profile that we're speccing for the application. Because basically what we do is we inventory dampers based on the stroke and their damping force and the overall cartridge length. And then that basically like for any application, like a damper could be shared across a few applications, or there's some dampers that are really only for a single application.
Yep.
And that's really how we manage our inventory of dampers and parts, especially for super low. So it's been growing that product line and making it better has been through internal like knowledge, like internal engineering improvements. Like we do these in-house camber plates, or in this case, it's for a Lexus that doesn't get camber via the upper mount. But I was telling these guys off the show that the slider allows for you can move the air spring out of the way of the wheel.
Yeah.
But for applications that we're using, like our air springs are much smaller in diameter, so you can usually achieve more negative camber out of the strut tower with those. And that's at the heart of Super Low is the air spring choice. And we've partnered with Universal Air in California. So these air springs, I'll show. I have this one. Sorry if you're listening audibly, but
Yeah,
all right.
there's some
Which
show
a lot
and
of you
tell,
are,
but
yeah.
you can tune in
So
to YouTube if you
our
want to
air
see it.
springs, they're smaller in physical size than most air springs you've seen or familiar with.
Which is a huge benefit,
Yeah.
Especially for
This is only-
all sorts of platforms, just to
Yeah.
avoid rubbing issues.
Yeah,
you can fit
yeah,
a bigger wheel
right.
underneath, all that sort of stuff.
Right, and that's how we achieve the higher spring rate at a low drive height. You have a smaller volume air spring, so it takes a less volume to reach that same spring pressure.
This doesn't
Juxtaposed
seem
to,
much
like, one of
difference
these.
than like if you had like a linear spring versus like a progressive.
Yeah,
like
sure.
The size.
Yeah,
So you can
the overall stack. You
you
mean
can kind of put
yeah.
that
Yeah, and then
anywhere.
also on the table here we have
little prototype, right?
Yeah, so this is kind of shows how we like prototype kits. So the bottom is actually 3D printed, and that's particular to the application. It could actually be. I'm not sure if it's the same as this one. I think this is
very
a
similar.
Honda. I think it's a Honda spring bucket, but so we design like for the application itself the spring bucket, like usually on the lower control arm,
Yeah.
like a form-fitting part for that, and then we use those like spacers essentially to manipulate the overall length of the assembly until it's yielding the spring pressure at the drive height that we think is appropriate.
Yep.
So with the Super Low kit, you're getting a recommended drive height, like it's set up out of the box to be exactly what it should be. And we include something in the box like, don't
Here's-
start messing with this.
Yeah, don't
here's the
touch anything.
test.
Twist
Put it on the
knobs.
car.
Yeah.
It's preset the damping. It's preset the length. You put it on the car. Go to these settings. We think you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
And if you don't, give us a call and
Yeah.
we'll talk about it. But yeah, that's the idea there. So
I wanted to take a step back in
Sure.
the manufacturing process.
Yeah.
Because you alluded to it and said it, especially when it comes to engineering and development of these
Sure, yeah.
things. Like, you guys have to be knowledgeable enough to tell the manufacturer what it is you're looking for.
Oh yeah. Everything's provided in like a drawing.
Right. 'Cause-
So,
and that, again, just from humble beginnings, right?
Yeah.
It's just one of those,
yeah.
all right, we're going to start this website, this business.
Right.
or
Yeah.
All
Oh
that
my
sort
gosh,
of stuff.
It's so
but
much
then,
different than that.
right. It's just
Yeah,
like now
yeah.
it's just progressed into
Yeah.
there's legitimate engineering and
Yeah.
development and R&D behind this stuff.
Right. And at really what it comes down to is we're just like big suspension nerds.
Yep.
And like we just love it so much. Like Super Low being our in-house product that we're so proud of, like we're constantly kind of in this internal battle of like we want to make it better and better and better, but we also really try to keep it within like a certain price point
An attainable.
that we
Yeah.
know is like what it's currently the highest priced air suspension that we sell. And is that for a reason. We do firmly believe that it is the best.
So just
I mean,
for my own curiosity.
listen to this dampener.
Right.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh.
Where have you ever heard a dampener
It
sound like
clicks
that?
so nice. It's something I'm very
Tactile.
gotta have it.
Oh my god! At the feedback here.
Click.
Yeah.
like you want to keep it at, again, that attainable pricing level. What are some components that would change for you to go to the next level? Is it, or let me kind of rephrase that. Is it a component base? Is it what the materials are used? That sort of stuff?
So basically, that's a great question for one. Like there's a couple things that like we're eyeing. Like for example, like I think it would be great to be able to offer like spherical bearing eyelets on like something like this.
Yep.
And that's like a pretty small thing to accomplish. But really, when you look at the damper itself, it's really challenging because so much of what makes a damper special and better than something else is on the inside.
Right.
And like the coating on the outside is definitely important too.
Yep.
Like you will see a difference when you have something like this, like Super Low versus like a lower end coilover. Just like after a year, it's going to end up like, especially around here, like maybe not in all parts of the country, but I'm sure we've all been there where you're fighting a seized coilover thread. Like,
course.
Right,
it's not
right.
fun.
It's I mean, it's a known thing to prep your threads.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
And even like ISC, they make covers purposely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. And I think those are really effective. We actually were looking at those for our stuff too, but it's kind of difficult with the air spring. But
Yeah.
Right.
yeah. So actually, last year, or the year before, I think it was last year at SEMA, we were chatting with the Nitron suspension guys. Are you guys familiar with Nitron suspension?
Familiar in the sense that like they've recently become popular in the YouTube segment
Sure. Oh, okay. Okay.
for certain YouTubers that I follow.
okay.
and,
Like
like,
Vin.
Vin
Yeah, yeah.
specifically, and then there's another person that recently kind of started to talk about them. But anyway, that's how I am
Yeah.
familiar.
They make beautiful, extremely well engineered, amazing products.
Yeah.
And we had the opportunity to meet with them at SEMA, and I'm not sure if we just like hit it off or something, but they were like really we were like oogling over the damper internals, and then one of their engineers came over and they're like, "You guys have any questions about this stuff?" And we were asking some very specific questions like, "Oh wow, yeah.
You speak my language.
Hold on, let me get some stuff out from the back of the booth. But we want to show you guys."
Oh, we were like real people.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we really loved that. And we were talking with them about a potential like collaboration for like certain applications where like, well, man, like the price point, like let's be real, like the target customer for let's say like a Mark V, Mark VI is much different than like the target customer for like a 992.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, they're just different.
Yeah.
And I'd really love to be able to have like a super duper like a Nitron damper based super low kit for like a 992.
Yep.
But then like there's so many challenges with that on like the inventory and differentiating side in terms of like marketing and selling. So really the more we look towards like improvements, it's that sort of like battle of like, how do we invest in something that we can then also communicate to the consumer?
And hit that right target market.
Right. And is that something that they really care about?
Right.
Yes or no? And so it's a balancing act across the board, really.
Right. Because the 18-year-old buying his first set of bags
Right.
isn't necessarily going to care about
Right.
the components
Exactly.
and what gases,
Sure. Yeah.
and
and that's
again,
totally okay.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like we've
yeah.
all,
It's
everyone,
just a completely
it's
different
a journey that we're all on.
Yeah.
Right. Like you all start somewhere, and like we really hope that one day you'll want a super low kit for your car. But you know, if not, that's okay too. We recently released the GT series air suspension, which we have over here, which comes in at a lower price point. We partnered with MaxLoad, who we also sell their air suspension on our website. And they are, I'm really like, out of all the supplier relationships that we've developed over our years, like the guys there are, we really hit it off. We met with them like in person at SEMA, and they came out to Vermont as well to hang out and
Oh, wow.
and meet with us there. Yeah.
Max
And-
Load is a crazy name.
It is. Yeah, yeah, it is.
I could see you just. I didn't want to look at you
No, I was
because I was
cracking
going to
up.
start laughing. Yes.
He's like,
Yeah, it is. And they're based in mainland China, and we weren't really sure like what to expect with our first like in-person communication with them, but we really just like saw so much eye to eye on like details and product improvements and what they're doing internally to invest in improving the air suspension that they're manufacturing. Like they recently developed in conjunction with some universities over there, which I do not know the names of, like a rig essentially that allows them to simulate the corner weight of a vehicle and then measure an air spring and the damper on it so that they can develop the ideal ride quality without having the vehicle there physically.
Yeah.
Which is just so
Which
cool.
and speeds
It's
up.
so cool.
Just speeds up so much.
Yeah, yeah, and they also just brought in-house manufacturing of lower mounts, like for McPherson applications, like steel lower mounts.
Yep.
Via this, I'm not even sure how to accurately describe what this machine does, but it almost sounds like a blend of like soldering almost process, but welding, where like the parts are fixtured together, and then like the welding rod is positioned, and then the entire chamber like heats up, and then it fuses that metal.
Huh.
Which I've never heard of that process before.
It's not like that laser welding stuff, is it?
No, I thought the same thing. No, but the president there clarified, no, it's not laser welding. It's a whole chamber.
This
Yeah.
sounds more like those butt connectors that have the solder in them.
Yeah, like a solder sleeve, right? Yeah, yeah. No, so that's what I mean. Is that,
Right,
like,
it's
it has that like similarity to the soldering process, but it's obviously not soldering. It's welding.
Right.
Just set it and forget it, if you will.
Right.
Yeah,
very,
so-
very specific. It sounds like very strategic,
Yeah,
purposely placed heating elements that are, whatever, doing their thing.
that's not my department of engineering, but
Yeah.
I'm really so for that reason very happy to have partnered with them and their continuous investment in internal improvements, and that we really see eye to eye on that level of like we want to make a product better and better and better, not worse and worse and worse.
Right.
Or not. I shouldn't say worse and worse and worse. I don't want to try to find ways to cut cost out of a product, which oftentimes does unfortunately come at a decrease of quality.
Right. Cutting corners.
Speaking of quality,
And again, because, a lot of times there are large corporate entities that ultimately want to improve their bottom line.
Yeah,
They
and
have-
that's a valid business case too. Like obviously businesses need to make money, right? Like
Yeah.
that's generally why.
Yeah, they're in business,
That's
right?
generally why it is.
Right.
It's the name of the game.
That's the name of the game. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I think there's a few ways to go about that. And Josh, we were talking about that earlier, and you had mentioned in this segue into this segment about the changes on the air ride industry. So Bag Riders, we recently produced a video, for a pretty short one, featuring yours truly, talking to the camera about a change of air suspension, primarily or specifically relating to Airlift Performance, which is a huge name in our industry. There I am right there. So in my hands there, I'm holding two Airlift Performance struts.
dude, we
I need to put some,
Get the Croyle out.
some better gassing in that.
Croyle. Yeah, so I'm holding two, I'll call it different like eras of the Airlift Performance air suspension. So Airlift Performance first released their performance line of air suspension in the early 2010s, and they were part of like especially how they communicate with us to then communicate with the general consumer and public. They had made a relationship with BC Racing, and Airlift Performance air suspension was built on a BC Racing damper, lower mount, upper mount, etc. And that's where that red anodized like upper mount came from. I think it's BC's like V1, or maybe like Megane Racing has that like red ano upper mount when it's an aluminum upper mount. Regardless, it was a BC Racing manufactured part. And BC, I think a lot of people are probably familiar with BC Racing.
Yeah.
They're really popular. I'll call them like entry level for a coilover.
Yeah.
But they're really consistent. Like when you get a set of BC coilovers, they're very consistent with their quality, especially with their finishes. Like the lower mounts, the part that like attaches the vehicle, it's always going to be like a great looking product. Like the mount is going to be like smooth. There's not going to be like welding irregularities on it.
Yep.
It's just going to be like a good looking thing.
Consistency.
Yeah, consistency. And through the recognition of BC, and then through the growth, and through the growth of air suspension as a whole, Airlift grew their application range and had all of these bolt-in air suspension kits. And Bag Riders sold, tens of thousands of these over the years.
Yeah.
And then in the last couple of years, things have been changing a little bit. And very recently, they've started to communicate with their distributors like Bag Riders, hey, there's a new look coming for our air suspension, and it looks like this now. We no longer have the red ano; it's just a clear silver anodizing finish. And like for us, as we hear that coming from a supplier, like, hey, this is changing, we're like, okay, well, like, what's changing about it? And I go over this in our video. I say, hey, like, we called them and asked straight up, what's the difference here? And the person, their representative on the phone, I don't know the person's name, but they said, okay, it was an upper level management decision to change the supplier for the damper and the lower mount and the upper mount. Nothing about it has changed, just the color. Which, to me, just seems very unlikely. And that's based on experience, right? Like, we have a lot of experience like negotiating with suppliers, purchasing and importing parts from suppliers, and seeing the difference between these parts. And you can buy the same thing from 2 different places, and it is not the same thing.
So that's what I was just going to say, because that in itself would be a very good feat.
Right.
Going. No.
Yeah.
All that's changed is truly the color.
Yeah,
Being
that's-
able to pull that off on a manufacturing standpoint.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, it is a bit, that would be a huge feat. And it's not that it's impossible to do, but again, really challenging.
Yeah.
So like right out of the box, like I'm holding these 2 things, and we're looking at them as a team. Like you can't tell in a picture that the damper's thread pitch is different, but it's different.
Yeah.
Right. So that right there is like a big difference. And the lower mount looks significantly different in terms of like the fit and finish. The damping adjustment mechanism feels different. There's just all of these little things that cumulatively make it to become a noticeable difference. And to me, it's a difference in not the right direction.
Yeah.
I get that.
And that doesn't, like, as for bag riders, like, we got to look out for our fellow car people,
Yeah.
and we want to be that trustworthy voice of the community. So when we see something like that, like, we got to tell people what's going on. And that's strictly out of wanting to be transparent so that our customers and other people know what to expect when they're buying a product. And to me, like, that's really important. Like, you shouldn't be telling people one thing and doing something different. That's,
Right.
To me, that's not the way to go about it.
Especially if you order parts last minute and now you have a V1 and V2 unknowingly.
Right. Yeah.
And you're like, hey, dude, I ordered these collars, and like, it's not the right thread pitch.
Right.
You're like,
Yeah.
What do you mean?
There are little differences like that, like, and I called that out in that video too, of like, hey, now, like, you need to buy a replacement air spring, or like, cause that happens. Like, we sell a lot of replacement air springs.
Right. You're going to have to specify.
Now we have to specify like which one.
Yeah. It adds another. I mean,
It's a
just
la-
from distribution, adds a whole nother segment of
Yeah.
Pain.
questions to ask.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So there's that. And then, you're replacing one side of the car. Now you have things that are like pretty close but different. Like maybe the sway bar or anti-roll bar, whatever you want to call it, depending on which side of the pond you're on.
Yeah.
I always found it really sidebar. I find it really strange they call it a sway bar here, because it's like, that's the purpose, is to prevent body roll, right? Like,
Anti-roll is a bit more defined.
right. Yeah.
Anti-roll bar?
Because
Yeah.
I think sway bars are
sway
easier
is
to say.
sway
Yeah.
is what I do when I'm standing in a line.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's keeping you. It's the
They just-
anti-sway bar.
No, they'd
Right,
like
yeah.
to just sound fancy.
That could be it too. I always kind of draw it to, like, here in the U.S. we call it fall, because leaves fall down.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
everywhere else
calls
it's
it autumn.
It's like, nah,
Autumn.
we're gonna call it fall.
What's fall? We call it autumn.
Nah, leaf fall down.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry for
It's
that.
so good.
No, it's true.
It's true.
So maybe you have a different mounting location for that, because, like, it's that difference between the 2 different manufacturers of the lower mount. So that's
It's something even as simple as, like, I know this isn't the part we're talking about.
Sure, yeah.
At all.
Yeah,
This is
no, it's
bag
okay.
rider super low.
Yep.
But it's like this opening.
Yeah.
If this opening is 2 millimeters smaller,
Yeah.
think about the difficulty in, like, working from side to side. And you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, why did none of the tools fit in
Yeah.
here all of a sudden?
Yeah.
And the other thing, not that they are responsible for doing this R&D, but as a manufacturer, that's a prime example of what Corey just said. Would anybody on that level, on that side of the house or that side of the business, ask that question?
Yeah. That's
Or know to ask that
Yeah,
question? They may not even be like, you know what? No, we're good. This is
Yeah.
cool. Hey, Harry, that hole shrunk by 2 mil.
right.
That's fine. We'll be
Right.
good. I can't see anybody ever having a problem with that.
Yeah, it's actually, coincidentally, as you mentioned this is actually an older iteration of our spring design, or rather the spring cap design, where you'll notice that those are bolted on there.
Yeah.
I still don't know if I should call you Sugar.
You could just
Edmund.
mix
Do-
the 2 and just say shed.
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 All right, shed. We'll notice.
Yeah.
They are bolted together, and we made a internal change to make those brackets crimp on.
Yeah.
Previously we would be able to inventory springs and then vehicle specific brackets and then assemble them together.
Yeah.
Which you can probably see sounds pretty good from
Yeah.
an inventory
No, that
perspective.
sounds great.
Right.
But then we decided for the reason's failing me now. But we switched the design so that this part and the part that the spring is crimped to are one piece.
Less man hours.
I believe it was we did a bunch of math across a bunch of inventory and found that it was actually a cost savings to have the manufacturer like that. Although it'd be more challenging for the inventory management perspective, because then we're no longer we're having to manage a bunch of vehicle specific parts and less of like, we have a bunch of air springs and we can keep a smaller quantity of vehicle specific things.
Right,
and there's MOQs you need to hit, like, or not MOQs, but like when we outwork like the CNC work for the spring caps. And I think you guys are probably familiar, like, buy more stuff, get better price.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And we really try to, maximize that.
Maximize that.
And sometimes you don't do it right.
Yep.
Especially when we're developing a suspension kit for like a new application. Like, we have all this data to go off of as far as like suspension kit sales. But like Super Low targets a different type of customer than like every other brand of suspension we sell. And like there requires, like, especially if we're entering a competitive platform, we can't like assume, okay, we sold 100 of this last year.
Yeah.
We're going to make a Super Low kit and we're going to sell 100 of it this year. Like,
Right.
that's not how it works.
Right.
I wish it was, but
Because the other thing too is like, well, you already sold to 100.
right, exactly. Yeah. So like, how much of that market exists? And, kind of a old time joke back from the day was like, man, how many Mark Vs are there out there?
Yeah.
Turns out there's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a
man.
lot.
That is that's like the Corolla of the German world. It's
Right.
like
Yeah. So
everywhere.
they're still out there.
Still literally still kicking.
They're still going.
How many PSIs can we handle here?
How many PSIs? I guess.
Before these before these clamps just fuck off.
Like way more than you ever have to worry about, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's same with the bag too.
yeah.
And like,
same with the air spring.
do you guys know at what PSI your spring rate becomes just infinite?
What do you mean infinite?
Like bump stop level. Like so hard it wouldn't even move.
well, it depends on the car, but yeah, like basically if you're at like 100, like 200, like on like a Subaru would be that, or like
It's crazy.
like on like a F30, for example, just like the wheel ratio, like it's normal to have spring pressure for one of these at like 140 psi, and that's another. I'm glad you mentioned that. This is another big like misunderstanding in the air ride world. Is like people talk to each other about like what pressure do you run in your car, and it's unless you have the same car as your buddy, in which case like go on.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
right.
if you don't have the same car as your buddy, and then you see like, oh, I have 140 psi in my springs, and it's like, whoa, I usually run like 50.
Right,
you know,
right.
it's
Completely
like
different car.
totally
yeah.
different car.
Yeah, it's not
but
the same.
There's this disconnect between, and of course, like we don't see that in like the coilover world, right? So
Right.
it's I kind of scratch my head about that. It's like you don't ever see that. People being like, what kind of spring rates are you running on your S2K? I have a Mark V. It's like, well,
Right. Yeah. Well,
No,
it
it's
just
It's always same car. Like
Yeah,
the
exactly.
E36 page is like, oh, what spring rates are you running?
yeah,
always?
exactly. You see that in that like in those communities, but for some reason in the air ride world, there's like
because the air
Like
is
that- yeah, they think of
relatable.
bags as
Yeah,
air
right.
just seems
It's all
more
air,
relatable.
right,
Because
exactly.
you get to see it.
You see it.
You
yeah.
get to physically
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
And
Like,
it's a variable that somebody
That's
can
a great
change.
point.
the
too, yeah.
numbers printed on the coil
Yeah.
when they install it in the car mean nothing to the people.
Sure, yeah.
Absolutely nothing. And for them, it could just be a part number. What do they know, right?
Yeah, right.
And not in like a disparaging way, but it's just like it's not for them to really kind of figure out.
No, yeah.
But like this controller
It tells you.
is prominently displayed in
Yeah.
every single car that has Air Ride. Typically, their interior is built around this display.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And it probably displays whatever their thing is.
I was
it's
gonna
like
say-
exactly what the screen's there for.
and
yeah.
it's kind of it's their comfort setting.
Yeah, it
So
sure
it's,
is.
no, this works for me at
Yeah,
60 psi.
But like you said, like an F series,
Yeah.
BMW,
Yeah.
is wildly different than a 2007 E36,
Yeah, like,
Right,
yeah,
right.
or
basically all
2017
cars are,
WRX.
you
It's
know,
like
Right.
outside of like, okay, we're comparing like Subarus to Subarus, pretty much the same.
yeah,
But when you take across different makes, like the Teslas are another great
Significantly.
example. Very
You
big
think
difference.
about I'm thinking about this the PSI.
Yeah,
You guys did a Model 3.
yeah.
Like that's a heavy car.
It is, yeah. It's
Did you-
hugely different. Yeah, so we had to
question?
go. That's actually, I think, the only application that we use what we call the SP5, which is the slightly larger version. It's actually right here, this one.
So did you
the
do
rear.
your R&D on a single motor or dual motor
Both.
and standard range or long range? say.
We did the rear. We did like actually. Sorry, we did.
That's why all this stuff works.
yeah,
thorough, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
yeah.
that's 4 different weights for the
Yeah.
same car.
Yeah, so it's
Like wildly different too.
yeah, and that was the Model 3 was one of our not we released Super Low with 4 applications and then we like rolled them out every 2 weeks. And I can't remember if the Model 3 was part of that initial 4 or if it came subsequently, but it was one of the first cars
Yeah.
that we developed on. So it was a big learning experience where it was pretty early on in like the development journey where we're like, wow, this is wildly different than like the F30, for example, that we were developing on
Yeah.
at the same time. Or the Subarus that, you know, I have an abundance of.
I just think it's crazy that this rubber pouch.
he's still
I know.
He's still
Dude,
You're not. It is crazy.
Like,
yeah.
You're
well,
not wrong.
you've seen a tire before, correct?
Yeah, but this is different.
It's
No.
well, that's steel.
I don't-
Aren't these steel
I don't
braided
put-
as
Yes,
well?
they are
Yeah.
still braided.
I don't
yes.
put 200 psi on my tires.
Oh, you could.
I don't own. I don't. You could.
We can give it a shot.
I don't own a Miata, so
They'll do a burnout.
unfortunately, I
They'll
don't
do a
need to
burnout
do
real
that.
nice.
But like,
What?
yeah, it is just a
What's
tire.
what's your like average lifespan on a bag? 5 to 10 years.
An air spring.
No, thank
Air
you,
spring.
Thank you. Thank you.
Or well, you should.
Uh,
Are you guys air
no.
spring riders?
Yeah, yeah. Boris, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we're
Touche.
back.
Touche.
good. I never
Touche.
thought of that.
That was
a good one.
that was a very
You should,
yeah.
You should buy the domain.
Airspringriders.com.
Airspringriders.com.
Actually, I do have a lot of variants of backriders. Anyways, to answer your question, average lifespan like at least a decade. It depends on the area as well, but you'll start to notice them like in like the rolling areas. It depends on a lot of things like usage as well. Like if it's a year-round car in New England, it's going to be different than like in like the desert heat of Arizona is also like pretty aggressive on rubbers, but.
You just parked it aired out its whole life. It's
Dude,
gonna
that's
crack
actually-
probably here.
Yeah, maybe. Change. Maybe. Also, it's like as it rolls over and over and over again, like thousands and thousands of cycles, but you're not going to experience like a failure because of that.
No, I've never ever.
Think about. I mean, it's no. You get 53 footer going down the highway.
No, yeah, exactly.
I was
gonna
gonna say, yeah,
look,
you gotta
look
think-
under any 18 wheeler.
It's a
giant version of
It's a
those.
gigantic one of these.
I didn't know
Yes.
they were steel braided. That makes
Yeah,
me feel
they're
better.
actually 2-ply steel braided. So the rubber for these is made in Texas, and then it's vulcanized
yeah.
into the spring
Look
shape
at-
in California.
Hell yeah.
Look at this one right here.
I thought it was interesting that you do because in my head I'm like, okay, like if you want to be
Yeah, that one's
low,
seen some stuff.
if you want to be low, but you have like big dishes and you're scared of them hitting your quarter,
Sure, yeah.
then you would find the ride height you want to be at.
Yep.
But you'd have to be aired up to a spring. Sorry.
Yeah, spring
an
pressure.
Air spring.
Yeah, air spring pressure.
Pressure that
Yeah.
would keep the wheel from hitting said quarter.
Exactly. And that's as far as like before we made Super Low, that was specifically the problem that we wanted to address with Super Low was that with a larger volume air spring, you buy air suspension for a couple reasons. One of which is you want to have that, show drop, of course. Everyone, I think that's probably the number one thing associated with air ride is having the car on the ground and confusing people about it. The practicality of being able to manipulate the overall, get in and out of steep driveways, things like that. But perhaps you also want to be able to drive your car low. But with a larger volume air spring, it's actually counterintuitive to that because as you lower the car, the spring is getting softer. That's not what you want. So with Super Low, that's a compromise. We've compromised and sacrificed upward travel in favor of having the nice firm ride quality at a low drive height. So, and you still do get, in my opinion, an extremely usable amount of lift. From my perspective, like especially with experience driving low cars, like I think we all have, some air suspensions give you like more lift than I think is appropriate. And for us, especially Super Low, would rather have that firm ride height.
Yeah,
Speaking
but
of-
we've
speaking of
been
Mark
getting
Vs.
by with 3 inches for our whole lives.
Right.
So we just get 3 inches of lift.
Speaking of Mark
know?
Fives, I remember like back in the day, like maybe right as Bag Riders as a company, you'd see Mark Fives. They all had air ride,
Oh yeah.
and they would all go like stilt mode,
Sure. Yeah.
and it would be sky high.
Yeah.
Huge.
It's probably bouncing around like.
Well, they would all do it to get into a parking lot. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if there's my cell phone is not even as tall as like the bump to getting into the
Right,
parking
yeah,
lot,
yeah.
and it would be like, shoo.
Yeah, of course.
Oh my. Oh, so yeah. Especially like those like rear like tapered sleeve springs that get like this long.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were like
Yeah,
they
little
almost
skinny boys.
just
yeah.
look like a big version of that.
like Mark IVs, Mark V. Like the rear ends especially get so tall.
I was gonna say, I just remember my Mark IV.
and the
Just being
dramatic
able to
drop.
just
yeah. Takes forever.
could fit my head in between the tire and the fender. Just
Yeah, they
fucking
get really.
popping in there.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you know, you see like a stock Mark IV. I'm everyone very rare occasion
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
You see
yeah.
one on the road, you're like, is that how they actually look? You know? I don't know about you guys, but I just like see so many.
Yeah,
slammed
yeah. Just
Yeah.
Mark IVs, Mark Vs. You see like
That's
a
how you
normal
see it,
one.
yeah.
You're like,
it's just that was it.
really, they're that from the factory. Oh my god, they're so tall. Yeah. So, yeah, I think I talked a bit about bag riders. I talked about like what's going on with Airlift. You're playing with this controller.
I want to talk about this.
This in your hand here is the Bag Riders Pro Control System controller. And it's a product that we released earlier this year, and it's a big deal for us. It's a digital control system. Basically, for Air Ride, we break it down into a couple categories. We have a manual control system, which uses literal paddle switches. Analog is like what you would have, mini trucks really popular to have like a switch box or analog, just 12 volt. And then we have a digital control system, which has a ECU, which then you can have user programmable presets on. And we always recommend a digital control system for like a daily driver and pretty much everybody. It's just the best thing for your air ride. You know, it's going to give you that convenience that you want to have, and it's going to work really well. Over the years, the price point of digital control systems has continued to climb. And we saw an opportunity there. We thought that we could introduce a control system at a slightly lower price point. I say slightly, but it's like a $400 price gap, so not that slight at all.
Pretty
I say
significant.
that's,
Yeah, that's a pretty good chunk of change.
So that's a big delta.
Yeah, and without compromising on quality and delivering the features that we know you need, but not the things that you don't need, right?
Yeah.
So we partnered with a manufacturing company for this. We imported every single air ride control system we could find on the internet, and there's a lot. There is
That's-
a lot of stuff out there.
Especially when you start digging. I can
Oh
only
my
imagine.
gosh! Yeah.
What was that number? Do you know it?
I think we had like 14 different systems at one point.
That's crazy.
And probably the funniest one was called Little Down Down. And it had voice control.
Oh,
Well, that's
did you
sick.
have to call it by its name? Like
Yes.
Siri? Oh my god,
It
dude.
was so funny.
Did it
Little down, drop me.
Yeah, I'm serious.
air out, little down, daddy?
Yeah, but like the voice prompts for it were like in not great English either. So it was like extra.
Call me, go down.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that one we really thought was like, oh my.
That's incredible. Voice commands is. Imagine you're like signing to it like Amy, the movie Congo.
Oh, okay. we were like thought like, dude, like imagine at a car show, you're just like messing or like on the highway with your buddy, and it's like,
yeah.
don't do it, Little Downtown. No, stop.
Hey, little down,
No,
add,
stop.
add poop to my shopping cart and also air down.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
my
So
God. Not to be confused with its cousin, Big Up Up.
yeah,
Big
right,
up, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, so we tested out all these systems, and we found one particularly that we thought, hey, this works really well. We sold that for a couple of years and collected customer feedback through a whole time as we do. Basically, like when we're determining if we're going to add a product or system to our website and sell it to people, we want to have hands-on experience with it first. So through Superlow development, we have a perfect outlet for that because you saw, Corey, we have all those like basically easy in and out air management boards.
They were just like pre-built trunk setups.
Yeah, so they're powered with like a little charged battery. So we fill them up. It's just like 2 air tanks strapped together with a digital control system on it and a 12-volt rechargeable battery. So that when we want to switch it into a different car, we literally just like take it out and pop it in the other one. And the airlines are already in the car. So especially
Right,
when we have
right.
multiple vehicles for development at one time, that was
So
like,
much
really
easier.
handy, yeah. And that's a perfect candidate for us to be able to test control systems
Yep.
and gain that hands-on experience. So we did that and then found a bunch of, found many areas that we wanted to tweak or improve, and the controller is really kind of like the heart of that.
It's like that's such a great weight to it.
It's yeah.
Yeah, so we put a lot of thought and care into the design of the case for the controller, and I'm really happy with how it came out.
I want that to be my next phone.
There's a little tunnel down there for the USB plug.
See that?
I joke about that and say it defends against bootylicious accidents. I personally have had a controller that I left on my passenger seat too many times and got sat on
Someone sat on,
years
yep.
ago. I mean, it's that's my fault, but little things like that we want
Especially these micro USB cables.
right, dude.
Fucking, you look
Yeah.
at them wrong and they
Yeah,
explode.
Right.
snaps right off. So yeah, little things like that, just attention to detail. And other controllers have things like that too.
It's a Raspberry Pi, dude.
No, it's not. But the TouchBox system that Corey had on the screen earlier was an Arduino, actually.
And it was an Arduino.
Yep.
I figured that's one of the. I had a feeling.
Did that naturally weigh that way? That weigh that much with just the components?
Yeah, actually it did. Yeah, we went through a few different case iterations to develop the overall size of it, and we liked having it a little bit taller, which was mandated to get that tunnel for the plug, but also we wanted to have a place for bag riders to be on it.
Yep.
And
I
we
love
really
the
just wanted a
buttons.
controller that felt like natural in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And to that point, actually, Airlift has just recently released a new control system after 10 years or so. The previous, their previous generation controller, which is still available today, is the Airlift 3P, which is extremely popular and works very well. I've had it on a couple cars for many years, and it's a great system, and we've sold a ton of those. So they just released their newest control system called the ALP4, and we'll have some content coming out on that as well. But perhaps the most noticeable change of that system, and it's totally different. The controller is much larger, and it's a touch screen as well, which we considered that for this as well. But to do in my opinion, to do a touch screen on something that's so critical to your vehicle, it has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Especially for something that you're using to manipulate your suspension, it has to be perfect. And there's just a few parts of that controller, like accessing the corner of the screen, that you have to do pretty frequently, just doesn't work that good.
Yep.
What I say about it as soon as I picked it up.
It's the buttons.
Yeah.
The
the
feedback.
clicking.
You want the feedback. It's a great. It's a confirmation loop.
Yeah,
that
right, right.
What I'm initiating just did it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So
You might be
we,
able to hear this.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I think
that's
the
a
number
button.
one thing that everybody complains about in new cars is how everything's no longer a button.
So
Right,
much so
yeah.
that even VW backed off and are
yeah.
going to buttons
I'm
again.
definitely in that camp for sure.
I think you
Probably
keep the buttons, dude.
the least. Yeah, I mean that's why we made the choice to keep the buttons.
Yeah.
It's so definitive. Like
That controller's
Right.
great. I love that.
Thank
I don't
you.
even have air ride.
Thank you. Yeah, we wanted to be intuitive, like arrows
too late.
showing you what you're pressing, what to expect up and down. It seems obvious, but not all the controllers on the
What's that button
marketplace
do?
have. It goes up. Sorry, which one are you pointing to?
That's a little down
top,
button.
The top right, the top right
Oh,
button.
it's all down.
I was
all
gonna say it
down,
looks
all
like
down.
It's like a bunch of V's going in the downward direction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
In a parallel.
It's a dedicated all down button.
I think they made it
Pre-
pretty
pre-
obvious
press
what
and-
that button does.
Press and hold that. Air go bye bye. Car go on ground.
Cargo
Yes.
down.
Nice.
Correct.
Cargo down. Not
Yeah.
little down.
So yeah, we're big.
All the way down.
We really want the tactile button feedback, and it's a pressure-based control system, which it works just extremely well. One feature that I really love about it is that it has essentially like a way that you can tweak its pressure algorithm as a user to overshoot or undershoot a little bit based on the application. Which we encourage people to experiment with that setting and see what works best on your car. And I think that that's a really powerful thing to have. And it works great out of the box, but it just gives you, after you've had your system for a little while, you can play with that and just get a teensy-weensy bit better, perhaps, maybe. If it works great on your car out of the box and it's exactly what you want, perfect. But you have that ability to, tune it a little bit, which, can be really handy on certain cars, John's here in the chat with a Mark II. certain brands of air suspension use a rolling sleeve in the back of that, which is pretty tall. And rolling sleeves have a really unique characteristic about them, is that their spring rate tends to be really flat, which is one of the reasons why they're a popular choice for OEMs. But also it makes it very difficult, because the spring rate's so flat, that you'll end up having a big difference in the overall height of the air spring at a very specific point of its spring travel, and that's when the spring goes from all the way up tall, and then there's a point where it rolls over the lower piston of the air spring, and that yields a very significant change in the height, the overall suspension height, where it could only be like a couple psi change of the overall like spring and the pressure in the air spring,
because
you know,
rolling over itself basically.
exactly.
Just-
So it's like going from like rolled down and then like a couple psi higher, it goes boop
yeah,
into its fully extended
actual
mode.
form,
So
right?
that's a big change, and you wouldn't expect that out of like a bellow type spring.
Is that why there's a warning to not inflate the bag when it is not unrestricted?
There's a couple reasons for that, but namely, if you are inflating a spring when it's unrestricted, it could end up not lodging correctly, especially for like an IRS spring like this. When it's not between its spring perches, it could become dislodged. You know, so you want it to be. Well, it's not that it's scary. It's that like if you like inflated it, like you had it on the lift, for example, and then you like hoisted it, and you inflated the spring, and then you like didn't check it, and you lowered the car back down, it could not like align properly with
gotcha.
the spring perch. So you know, things like that.
These are
could have a
fucking
crooked bag.
beefy, bro.
What's that?
They're beefy.
Should you should
Yeah.
drift them?
Yeah, there's an idea.
That'd be crazy.
We do have E36 kits.
What do you mean? That wouldn't be that crazy. Think of how you could be
There's-
so dialed in.
Yeah.
There are a couple people that do drift on air springs.
Really?
That
Yeah.
I've seen, yeah. Because the management,
Am I just like a boomer and I've just?
well,
I'm
no,
serious. I
but-
didn't know.
it's
You shitting me?
truthfully, I mean, I don't know if a roll bar, sorry, it was
Anti-
anti-sway ball
Mm.
and ultimate
Anti-roll bar.
would even be as necessary. Kind of, yeah. It still has its own properties, right? But the air, like the management, can throw air to the bag that's being compressed on the steer.
No, you wouldn't want to do that.
But you could.
Well,
I don't think it's
Yeah.
going to be fast enough.
it's not. Well, it's not going to do that. Like, it's actually deliberately not going to like manipulate air spring pressure like whilst you're in motion, especially like cornering. That would likely yield a cross loading situation where like what that would mean is that like you could yield the right suspension height by only inflating the opposite corners of the car, right? So if you were like actively in a quarter and the suspension decided like, oh, I need to adjust air spring pressure, that's not what you want, because if you're cornering, like let's say you're taking a hard left where therefore all of the load is on the outside corner, so that's going to see a higher spring pressure. Therefore, if it went to say, okay, well, I should really be at whatever 50 instead of 100, well, then you're lowering the car, and you don't want to do that.
Right.
So for that reason, like the ECU has a gyro in it to know if it's going to be
Oh, well.
no,
that's crazy.
to know if it's going to be, or accelerometer to know if it's going to be what it's doing at any given time, so it doesn't make adjustments while you're partying.
That's fancy.
Well.
I didn't know if maybe that's what they were doing to like stiffen up a. It's like, oh, this corner's got too much traction. And then it just throws
Not to
some
my
PSI at it.
knowledge. Not to my knowledge, but yeah, like I mentioned all of these different challenges, but like OEM cars that come, many cars come with air ride, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And to your point, Corey, they don't have a screen.
Yeah.
This person doesn't know
It
what's
just
going
kind
on.
of does it, right?
It just does it, and it works for the most part pretty good, you know. And that's so yeah. To your point, like especially like in the earlier 2010s, there was some really popular control systems that didn't have a screen on them, and they worked pretty well.
Yeah.
I forgot what one I had. Just a small box, still with a cord, up and down, and the screen was rectangular and blue.
Probably an Autopilot V2.
That sounds right. I
Yeah,
vaguely
It
remember.
had the
like
four
a
buttons across
V2.
the bottom.
There was buttons on top and
Yeah,
bottom.
yeah, it's Autopilot V2. Yeah, and that was an airlift product, really popular product. And like the 3P was like the iteration on that.
Yep.
and the V2 is super duper successful. For me, my biggest gripe with that system was that like the buttons didn't like correlate to like the corners of the vehicle.
Yep.
Which is to me.
That was it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you are. Yeah, so extremely popular product. We still get questions about it today.
That's crazy.
I think John actually has one in his Mark II because I feel like I was talking to him about that.
Please don't tell me.
Is
And I
this
think I
bag
already
pressure?
know. Please, yeah, those are.
It's
bag.
tank
Yeah,
pressure.
Yeah, it's
Tank
tank,
pressure,
pressure
yeah.
in the middle. Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that the far left and the far right are fronts,
I
and the middle two are rears.
don't think so. I think all the tops were ups and all the bottoms are downs.
Yeah, I believe so. And
But it's
then
been
I
a long time since I
I
used it.
vaguely remember you could double push.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
there's a double push.
Yeah, no, these are all down. But what I'm saying is these two are front and these two are rear.
I think it went
Like those
front
rows?
left, front right, rear left, rear right. I think.
Oh, that's
I think that's
But again,
I'm
it's-
almost positive that's what it
It's
was.
been at least 10 years for me since I used that.
I
so.
vaguely remember having to hit one of the ones on the top right constantly because I
Sure.
blew a bag or was leaking or just
Yeah,
multiple
John
times.
Stairs does have the V2. Yeah.
So
Phil
up to
can.
the top,
Good
downs are the
question.
bottom. Phil had a question earlier.
Yeah. Auto inflation to the presets. No, Phil, there's not like a preset monitor on it. No.
So that's what's crazy. I didn't know auto inflation leak detection. I knew auto inflation was a thing. Leak detection is a thing.
Yeah. So basically, it's like, in my opinion, it's almost like a Band-Aid for either like an improper installation.
Yep.
There are circumstances where it is a good thing to have.
Yep.
Hands down. For us, it was a decision to like invest in that or consider that to be something that, hey,
That should be handled.
it should be handled.
Yeah.
Right. And again, not to say that there's like no valid case for it. There
Yeah,
certainly
yeah,
is.
for sure.
But for us, that was a decision there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And John has the info here. Does indeed still have the V2. Oh, and someone up there talked about magnetic dampers.
Yes.
Yeah, variable. Yeah, so basically, yeah, like MagRide shocks. Like I think Chevy has the patent for that, and they like lease it to many different companies.
Yeah.
Yeah, super cool tech in there. Basically, like they can adjust the valving of the damper, like however many, like whatever the computer cycle is, right? Like
Per
Right,
second.
right.
It's
yeah,
crazy.
It's like whatever
yeah.
the frequency is. It's surely some insane thing.
Absurdly, yeah.
We can adjust it 1,000 times per second. It's like, well,
Yeah.
yes, because that's how a processor works. But
Yeah. You're
that's some marketing stuff right there. If you
I
ever
was just
heard
gonna
it,
say,
you know?
right.
It's like so when he's like, oh, it's got 20 times more RAM than the last product. Like, okay,
Cadillac MagRide can adjust the
Dedicated
vehicle
wham.
suspension up to 1,000 times per second.
but look
there
at
it
that.
is.
Yeah. It's adjusting right now.
Yeah, it's like, all right, cool. So no, but that is really cool tech, and that is exactly what it's intended to do for, is to manipulate the valving of the damper to be appropriate for what the circumstances are. Is it's measuring literally the shaft speed
As it's- right.
exactly. So that's
Right.
really cool tech.
Right. Yeah. So just thinking about that, because I just remember their marketing, Cadillac in particular, showing a pothole.
Yeah.
And it just kind of did a slow mo of a wheel going over it, and
Yep.
the vehicle maintaining a level plane.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
the
God, it's so
suspension
cool.
doing its adjustments, but they showed the magnets kind of like
Yeah, it's so
fencing
cool.
up and all that.
But like inside, like a monotube damper. So as the name implies, it is one tube, monotube.
Singular.
So what we have in here, there's a internal floating piston, which is the divider between the chamber of the damper that is filled with fluid, and then the bottom of the damper, which is filled with nitrogen.
Fluid. What kind of fluid?
Well, it's shock oil.
Mineral oils.
I was gonna say, is it
Yeah.
mineral oil?
Put it on
Yeah.
your tummy.
We did a April Fool's reel where for like a couple years ago, where we're like at the shock dyno building a shock, and like panning across all of the, like the different shock oils that we have, and then it's a thing of Vermont maple syrup.
Nice.
And Kevin's like, and pouring it into the damper, like,
Just right.
delicious. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if this is a good representation of the inside. If it helps you out at all to kind of talk about it and explain about it. I brought it up because it said it had the nitrogen chamber. I don't see any fluid though.
What's Stone Shield on there? Oh, well, this has so it looks like this has an external reservoir. So yeah, same idea.
Right,
So,
but that's yeah.
With the external reservoir, you basically can extend the travel range of the damper's rod.
Because you're just it's no longer in the same.
It's no longer in the way.
Yeah.
Exactly. Whereas like with this, there's an internal floating piston down here, which is keeping the fluid inside pressurized, because when it doesn't become pressurized, that's when you get cavitation. So like at a high travel speed event, you'll eventually get cavitation as that oil heats up.
Okay.
And that's not what you want. You don't want
Right.
cavitation in your oil, like just like in your engine oil. You don't want that in your
You get like a
in your
dead
damper.
spot.
Yeah,
It'll,
essentially,
like-
yeah.
So
The
that's-
damping doesn't work as good.
It just further explains those insane, like desert
Oh my-
cruisers where they're built for that fox shop.
Yeah,
to
you get
just-
those like 5
lot of
ways.
strokes.
right,
Yeah.
tons of stroke, real like a rabbit.
Fucking stroke.
Yeah,
Like a
you
fucking
get
rabbit.
all the stroke, and you get like with those especially, like basically like in our world, we're oftentimes talking about either a one-way, pretty commonly a two-way adjustable damper, which means you're adjusting rebound and compression damping with one damping knob. As you kind of move up the scale of dampers, you can get into 3-way, 4-way, 5-way dampers. And you can have dampers that have like a blow-off circuit on them as well, which is essentially the same way as like a blow-off valve works.
Right, just
where, like,
releases that
at a certain
pressure.
pressure, it's just like pff, not
Yeah.
doing a thing. And that's called like a bypass circuit. So internally, the way the damping effect is achieved is that as this rod is traveling down and connected to this piston, the piston on either side of it has these really thin pieces of metal called shims, and they're arranged in like a pyramid shape. And you can, as you're, the way to manipulate the behavior of the damper is through a few ways, but primarily like the design of the piston, and then the configuration, including the thickness and the number of shims used. So like you might say that you would assume that like
Any better?
yeah.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're there. We're there now. Yeah, so we see the piston, and then on either side of the piston there are shims. And those shims are what they deflect ever so slightly as that rod, the shaft, which is
Yep.
attached to the piston, as that's moving up and down, the fluid is trying to force its way through that piston and push those shims out of the way. And that's how the damping effect is achieved. And then what your damping adjustment knob is doing is it's essentially a needle valve right through the middle of that. And as you're opening it, and it's essentially giving that like free course for no passageway as you're opening or closing this other circuit on the piston on the inside, where that needle valve is being adjusted as you're twisting the damping adjustment knob. So, if you're ever like rebuilding a damper, you can play around with how those shims are oriented,
Yeah.
and you can manipulate. And this is something, if you have people that are like in the off-road or trophy truck world.
I was going
this
to say
is like
that, or even I'm sure in the motorsport world.
Oh, yeah,
of
yeah,
just
absolutely.
complete control and adjustability.
Right, yeah. So it's not something that I think like your average hobbyist is doing, but like from a technical perspective, that is how it's working on the inside there.
But once again, it goes to show the lengths that you guys go to
Yeah,
to understand this stuff.
right. Yeah, we
and,
want to
implement it the best
right.
you can.
And then I think at least like for me, like I feel like before like we can really confidently offer something to like customers and fellow car people, like
You want to be well versed in it.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's no other way to do it.
Yep.
For us, at least that's what it comes down to.
You and Chuck, actually, sorry, mine will be kind of a longer term question.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, what's the benefit? Well, I honestly, now after hearing about this, the difference or benefit between running this or like the coilover on the air perch. You know what I'm talking about? Have you
Like
seen-
a air cup?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a great question. An air cup is a system that is intended to be installed over a coilover. And they're actually kind of common nowadays on like supercars have something like a
front
hydraulic
axle lift?
Yeah,
Oh,
front
is this
axle lift
what
or
we
hydraulic lift.
we
Nitron
used to
even
call
has something
bag
for
over
it.
coil or something? I forgot what it was.
No, that's I'll answer that as
Because
well.
who the hell was it? There was that one dude. Stairs had his struts. I can't remember their name now.
Well, Universal Air has a bag over coil type of product called their Aerosport, which is like an air spring that has a tube in the middle. That would be a way of installing an air spring on like a ordinary damper.
Yep.
But yeah, what Shook is asking for here. Oh, Mason Tech. Yes.
Mason Tech, that's what it
my
was.
God, that's a way throwback.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the what you're asking about, Shook or Shed, is an air cup which exists on the coilover. Yeah. There's a Stance Parts. Yeah, we
I
saw.
don't know if it's the kosher company to bring up. It was just the best photo I could find.
Yeah,
too.
no, that's fine.
Okay,
and
yeah,
yeah,
that makes
Stance
perfect
Parts,
sense.
Stance Parts, we distribute these as well. And they're out of the Netherlands, I think. I just sent a wire to them the other day, so I should know.
Look at the Wii compressor.
That's Viair. They're a great company. We're a direct distributor of them. I can't tell which model that is. But you don't need a big one just for those. So the purpose of those Shed is that they live on your coilovers and they give you a little bit of lift when you need it. And you don't need to run like an air tank. You don't need to have a bunch of on demand. You don't need to have the air on hand. It's like a small compressor like that will give you the lift that you need momentarily, pretty quickly.
Almost
you
hit
know.
the button, turn it on, like,
it'll
oh,
brrr. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
say 20 or 30. It'll add some stack height, and then you get a little bit of lift out of it. But they're not intended to be used like whilst driving. It's just like a temporary lift to get you over what you need to get over.
Right.
And then you release the air spring, or you release the pressure from that air cup. It also does, those do impact the spring rate when you've lifted it because it's compressing the spring too. So that is a great question. And we do get that. It's like, oh, this is kind of similar to an air cup. It's like, well,
It's not.
it's
No,
not.
I can see how it's not.
in practice, but it is like I guess like you do get that same type of like lifting situation going on. But
Yeah. So I was basically just asking, why is that better?
Yeah, well, it's better because it's fully air suspension, so you get like the ability to have like you want to have your car on the ground at a car show, and you get the full adjustability of air suspension, meaning you can have whatever your spring rate wants to be. You can have a lower drive height.
and you
and
can
then-
drive it at that.
Yeah, and also like I mentioned earlier that you don't want to put all your air pressure into your air springs and go driving, which is absolutely true. But there's like driving at like 80% travel range of the damper is no problem, right? And that's a huge benefit if you're like used to driving around absolutely slammed on coilovers.
Right.
Like, what would you give to have another like even inch of travel, right? Like
I'd
just
give anything for an inch.
right. Yeah. Amen, brother. But like, so you see what I mean there? We have like, you get a lot more travel out of air suspension,
Yeah.
than you would out of a air cup on a coilover. But again, those are really great. I think especially for like a track car that you just like need a little bit to like get onto
Get
your
the jack
trailer.
under there.
Yeah,
get
whatever
on
it
the
might
trailer,
be.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, actually, good point. Just to get
Yeah.
it on and off the trailer.
Yeah. There's some really great use cases for that. Or if you just want to have coilovers in your car, man, like totally, that's great too. Like we're all car people.
Yeah.
And like if I know some people like air ride's not for them, and that's fine, man. Like
Yeah.
do your thing. We're all into cars.
Can you explain the gas in the strut as well?
Yeah, certainly. So basically, like you would imagine that as you're putting this putting the damper together, so you have the damper in a fixture like a vise. So as you put everything in, like the rod and piston assembly, you're pouring fluid in, shock oil of whatever weight is appropriate, and then you're sealing everything back up, and then at that point you just have a tube full of liquid.
Yep. All
Right.
right. So they're pressurizing.
So then you add the pressure at the bottom that pressurizes everything in there because it pushes that piston up against that
into
fluid.
position, ready for a working.
Yeah,
You know,
and then as that shock rod is traveling, that piston is moving as well. So that
Yep.
gas chamber is getting bigger or smaller based on the compression or extension of the damper.
did you guys collectively, form a group of a super team to learn all this stuff, or do you just do it on your own free time?
Oh boy. I mean, as the leaders of the company, really took it upon ourselves to do that.
Yep.
You know what's crazy to me? They're all impossibly smart.
Yeah. And so
And you guys could have gone and done like anything.
for their own
Literally anything.
Cured cancer.
I
And
know,
you're
I
like,
know.
you're like, Air ride.
Let's sell car. I know.
Yeah.
I know. But
I know.
You know what?
I talked to you about computer programming, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, do an air ride.
They're solving all the problems you didn't know you had.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
No, man. I mean, I think
It's
that
incredible.
part of like what helps to make Bag Riders successful, not like as a company selling car parts, but just like as a business that operates. Like you guys know, there's challenges of just like working,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Right. Right.
But we're especially like when you're friends too. Like
Yep.
we definitely have disagreements, and we especially try to remember like we're all coming from the same place. We want the best outcome.
Yeah.
And we're all passionate about it. So let's remember that.
The other thing, that I have to assume contributes to the success is you have 4 different points of view,
Right. Yeah.
but common goals.
Yeah. Common goals in
And-
areas of expertise too. you
So
know?
right, and it just, it's 4 different sets of eyes to look at the same problem.
Right.
All that sort of stuff from thing to thing to thing.
Yeah.
And the other part is, Will being so open
Yeah.
to having that say and,
Sure,
and,
yeah.
and allowing friends, employees to have
Yeah,
that say
yeah.
and take it into
Yeah.
account.
Yeah. And at this point now, we've all kind of like grown in our own like individual like areas of interest in the car world.
16 years is a long time.
Yeah, man.
It's a long time.
Just for
I
for
can't-
so many things. I mean, just from your college kids when you start.
Yeah, literally the first rendition of bagriders.com Will and I made like in my dingy college apartment. And that was like extremely just like, yo man, you want to like help me make a website? Like, I sure do. And that, as they say, one thing led to another.
Right.
Right.
You
Right.
look at our story. I mean, it's pretty. I continue to scroll through it while
Sure.
after I
Oh,
put it on
yeah,
the
yeah.
screen, and it's so interesting.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it is really wild to like look back on where things have gone. And everyone like now, especially now, like I have like Google Photos on my phone. I get like those. I don't know if you guys have that. Like
Yeah.
10,
Yes,
10
the-
years ago or something,
Yep.
it pops up. I'm like, oh my god, look at that.
Yeah.
Just
Crazy.
the other day, I got a memory of like our Q5, and that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like holy smokes, our
Wild.
like SQ5 that we
Yeah.
bagged like long time, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years.
Seeing like all of our old cars come up, and like cars that we as individuals have had, and I still have my WRX, which is I've had now for I don't know 12, 13 years, I want to say.
Right. Right.
And you shot that for the Revival magazine.
Yep.
That was
and
one
that
of-
was holy crap. That was probably 6 years ago now, something like that.
yeah,
I'd assume.
probably. Yeah, I think so.
That's the other thing too. Is just like, all right. And actually, I'm going to have a couple questions regarding this, but you have a growing business, changing markets,
Yeah.
handful of individuals that have also grown individually,
Yeah.
started families, all
Yeah,
that sort
yeah.
of. So it's
Oh,
just,
yeah.
and again, as Corey was saying, it's just very, very impressive to
Thanks,
stick
man.
together
Thanks.
for that long and continue to push
Yeah.
to do so.
Yeah, I mean, we really love it. Like, I love cars. I love like working with my friends, and I get to do like at work. I it's not like I'm like wrenching on cars at Bag Riders. Like that's not part of my job.
Right, right.
But, like I really do love like software development. I love computers, and like the various things. Ironically, I don't really love computers and cars. I love those two things, but very
Yeah.
separate.
Separate,
Very
yeah.
separately.
Keep
Yeah.
them very
Keep
different
them,
rooms.
Yeah. But yeah, so I get to do a lot of the things I like to do, and then I get to come and do things like this,
Hang out, right,
And,
yeah,
and talk way too much about stuff that I, have way too much in my head at all times.
No, it's great because it helps fill in a lot of blanks I have in mine.
yeah, man. I'm really happy to talk about this stuff at any time, and I really do appreciate you guys having me down here.
So another thing I wanted to ask is obviously the impending tariff stuff and how has that been for you guys? And I mean, it seems like up until now,
Yeah.
there's just been a lot of up in the air.
That's probably the biggest challenge is the uncertainty, and like the perpetual pausing.
Right.
Yeah.
90-day extensions.
Oh,
it seems
man.
like
Just the holding pattern that we've
It's
just
like-
been in.
right. It's
I live my life a quarter mile at a time. I live my life 90 days at a time.
at some point that plane is going to run out of fuel.
Yeah. So no, it's for sure been like a looming challenge. And like we actively communicate with our suppliers about how are we going to manage this. and there really isn't any two ways around it. Like,
Right.
it costs more to import parts.
Mm-hmm.
And like we as a company do our best to like negotiate with the supplier. Hey, we need to not hit the consumer with these costs because it's going to have a negative effect on.
Right.
It's going to have a ripple effect. It's going to have a long-term effect. But at the end of the day, like those costs do come in, and we have had a couple of upstream price increases on things over the last couple of years, and I think you see that pretty well throughout the aftermarket automotive industry. Which I mean, it's from my opinion, not just like as a business operator, but as a car person, like, man, I don't like it. Let's take, for example, like JDM wheels, right? Like work wheels. Like if I want a set of work wheels, I want a set of work wheels, man. Like
Right.
that's it. I don't want, like, it's going to come from Japan, plain and simple. And it sucks for me that's going to end up costing me more money personally.
Because then it also like negatively impacts them in a couple different ways, because it obviously it's the price, right? That's gigantic.
Yeah, prices.
But then it's just, oh, they're not just a set of wheels anymore.
Right,
It's
yeah, yeah.
holy crap, I just made an investment.
Yeah.
It's never going to have any return.
Right.
But it's now you're less keen to use the car as much. Or
Yeah,
it
right.
becomes, unfortunately, that type
Yeah.
of deal.
And there's been like, I feel like there's like somewhat a bit of like a narrative about like, I almost feel like it's like borderline like propaganda in the US about like things made in, let's say, Taiwan or China are like inherently poor quality.
Yeah.
Which is just not true. You know,
Yeah.
like I think we can all recognize that like our smartphones and computers and tons and tons and tons of things that we have in our everyday lives are manufactured overseas. Like that is just the world we're in today. And yeah, there is a lot of low quality stuff that comes out of every country.
There's a huge operating range over there.
There's a huge range, you know, and it comes down in many cases to the relationship and to you as like an importer to know what you're importing, to be able to communicate your expectations, and then to be able to have like accountability and being able to like validate that you're getting what you're buying and being crystal clear about what your expectations are about that. You know, like for example, like you can send parts overseas to have them CNC'd. It's a piece of metal getting CNC'd, right? Like, does it matter where the CNC
If it's
machine
done,
lives?
right. It's I feel at times it's almost a way of like not wanting to admit
Yeah.
they fucked up along the way.
Right.
Instead of, hey, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't have been capitalist pigs
Sure.
and sent all this out to the
Yeah.
country that was way cheaper to manufacture it at the
Right.
time. Maybe we should have kept things stateside.
Right.
But we won't admit that.
No.
Instead,
unfortunately not.
their stuff's shit.
Yeah.
That's you know, it's like, again,
Yeah.
one of those that gets
So,
on a whole nother path.
I guess
but-
we've reached kind of like a yucky place. I think.
Yeah,
In general,
you ain't kidding.
And it's just like it's not fun for anybody. Like,
Yeah.
not fun for the business side of things. It's not fun as like a consumer and like an enthusiast that just like wants cool car parts.
The only positive thing I see is everybody is kind of, for the most part, doing the Spider-Man thing and going, wait a second.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You think what I think too. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, this sucks.
Yeah.
So maybe there'll be a solution at some point.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like we're just trying to focus on the things that we can control and make decisions on the information that we have at hand. So from that perspective, I would really just love like
It's a defined.
defined guidance and not like there was a period of time where I was like checking like daily
Yeah.
what like the trade environment was like.
And you have to check the status of your order, right? Because do you get
Timing-wise, big time.
right? That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, because there's
do you
like
get,
windows of opportunity for which is insane.
Things
to
Right,
me.
to
where-
get. It wasn't even on. It wasn't even on shore,
Yeah.
but it was within like queuing area of
Right.
like your port.
Yeah, there's
So
just
it's like the boat could still be in the water, but
Yeah.
it met its like criteria to get to the port.
there's just so much craziness going on, and like even like during like the pause periods, there's like repercussions from that because like every company on the sun is like trying to rush to do whatever they're trying to do,
Yeah.
so that drives up container costs, it drives up cargo costs,
affects quality potentially.
everything.
Yeah.
So it's just like we're in this period where like everyone's kind of in the same, like you're saying, like what is going on here, and we'd like some just straight guidance and consistency, because like at one point those like, you know, daily, every other day types of changes on what to expect was like extremely stressful, and like, you know, you want to be trying to make decisions in the best interest of the business, but then when things change like 2 days later,
You
it's
can't.
like, well,
It's impossible.
should I be waiting, or should I be deciding today?
Right.
You know,
Right.
so that's
and the other thing, you can make that decision,
yeah.
but something could change so much so it affects the consumer to where they're like, nope, we're out
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So there's
drastically.
Yeah. So for bag riders, like we pay the import duties for parts.
Yep.
That way the customers never hit with a surprise bill.
Right.
That's really important to us, and we communicate with any vendor that ships internationally,
Like
to customers
direct,
in the
yeah.
US. Yeah.
Yep.
We make sure that that's the case too. So that just adds more like administrative effort on our end, where, you know, and there's also like a pretty big like delay as well, just due to like carriers like UPS and FedEx, like just having this whole new process of collecting and levying tariffs that, you know, I was just getting a batch of bills from like May that I was just paying like in July. You know, so
Yep.
it's a couple months worth of delay from import collections, which is, you know, it's just it
And
has
does-
other consequences as well.
So for that stuff, did the product already go out to the customer potentially?
Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
so
Yeah,
that,
oh yeah, definitely.
so that's like, you know, if you had to collect,
Yeah,
just imagine that conversation. You know,
Yeah.
you
And
can't. You just
yeah,
can't do
There's
it.
some real wild like inconsistencies too. You know, like I'll see like very like similar declarations of goods, but they're like the taxes levied on them are like just different. And that, as far as I understand it, like UPS can just like change the way they decide to rate things on a given day.
Yep.
As long as they communicate within like 45 days or something like that. So there's a lot of complications with it.
Yeah, it really opens the door for a lot of tomfoolery.
Yeah, it sure does. So we work with importing companies for all of our like international sourcing of parts.
Yep.
And that is a couple of reasons for it, but compliance is a big one. Just don't want to have any 3-letter agency upset.
Right.
So-
Suddenly, yeah. Yeah.
Some alphabet soup coming knocking on the
Yeah,
door.
that's just, we always just want to be doing things the right way by the books, and that's really challenge. It's like
I was gonna
it's
say that's
challenge
a
of
time
size too.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like we have a lot of competitors, and there are ways that you can bypass.
Work the system.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are ways
Yeah.
that you can, you know, falsify essentially and evade fees.
Yeah.
And the smaller you are, I think
Yeah.
probably the less likely you are to be investigated for that.
Right under
So
the radar.
that's like a competitive disadvantage for us, because like we really want to do everything by the books.
Yep.
And that means that we're
We also
like,
like the
eating-
name.
Yeah, right. We're eating
So like
costs. and-
it's like you're like the top. It's just kind of like you get looked at first.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Like, and I think about, oh my gosh, like what like Cobb and other like, you know, tuning companies have gone through in the last
Right.
few years.
Oh.
And now
Right.
like the legislation's changed for like the EPA. And
I was just gonna say, right.
What's going on there?
If
Imagine waking up to that email one day.
Yeah.
Like,
if the
excuse
bullseye
me.
is on you,
right. Like Cobb,
Yeah.
Cobb paid out like millions and millions and
Yeah.
millions
Yeah.
of dollars, you know, and like, I don't know what's going to happen with them now, but
I don't know. You obviously aren't like customer facing,
sure.
but in my industry, I'm
Yeah.
heavily impacted by whatever we've been talking about, like tariffs and increases and all this
Yeah.
holding pattern. Do your customer service rep get the questions of like, is now a good time to buy? Should I buy now?
Oh, yeah. No, that's a
or is
great
it going to be
question.
going up? Or
Yeah, no,
like,
I don't think so. Not
there
at
was
least that
a
I've
period
heard
in
of.
time where I had to become a tariff expert.
Oh my gosh.
At some point, I was like, "Hey, I sell printers.
Yeah.
You're talking to the wrong guy." Like,
If you're asking me if today's a good day to buy a printer, the answer is yes.
yeah,
Right,
yeah, it's
right,
always yes.
right.
It's always yes. But it just like that became like the deciding factor on
Right.
like landing a sale or not.
Yeah,
And it was like drove me
definitely-
crazy.
I certainly saw like in our space, even just like automotive in general, like dealerships like listing out like now's the time to buy your car because it's going to get more expensive.
Right.
So there definitely is that, but that's not something that like we've really experienced. So we really try to like if we do foresee like a catalog like a price increase, like if it's been communicated by a supplier, that's like one thing we just have to like acquiesce with. Like usually companies have what's called UMAP or universal or unilateral manufacturer's advertised price, meaning that like if you are selling their products, it's this price that you can advertise, and if you violate that, then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Big trouble, straight to jail. But with that said, for us, like for the parts that we're directly importing, like we have really tried to swallow costs in order to essentially ride out the storm without like having like a degradation of like the perceived value and cost of air suspension, because I really do hope that it's like a temporary problem.
Right. Instead of,
yeah. So-
You don't want to, you know, what's that term? Not necessarily cry wolf.
Yeah.
But like, oh, no, we did this. It's out
right.
there. And, that's also negatively affecting the industry.
So it's been, there's always new challenges coming about.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Ever changing.
But that's what keeps it fun and interesting, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it adds, it helps you, again, grow and learn new things that you probably wouldn't expect you have to spend your time on. But
sure didn't.
It is what it is.
Never went to school and thought I'm going to be learning all about import.
Import, export.
I do import, export.
Import, export.
You wore WRX. We talked a bunch about you custom made a wiring harness for it. This isn't air ride related at all.
Hey, I love talking about
but it's like something really cool you did. You
Thanks,
took
man.
this on. I mean, huge endeavor. How was it?
A lot of fun for one. I love like nitty gritty projects like that. So what Corey's describing is I have a 2006 WRX wagon. It's a Hawkeye is what they're called. It was in Revival Motoring's episode, maybe 3rd or 4th issue, some number of years ago. So that car has a shaved bay. I've done all this work on it over the years. It has like a metal wide body on it from a sedan. It's a wagon as a car. Oh yeah, and Corey has some photos of it up here. So I recently just went over and redid like everything in the engine compartment. I taught myself fabricating and like TIG welding so that I could build my own like turbo kit and all the charge piping for that car. And then for the wiring harness, basically there it is. Yeah. So the factory wiring harness is kind of yucky looking. And after I did it's one of those things where you like try to make stuff look nice. And then as you do that, like everything else around it doesn't
Starts
look nice.
to look worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. So
it's like this ever changing scale.
Yeah.
If one goes up, all go down.
So exactly. And I was just like, I'm in no rush. I had the engine on a stand. So I was just like going over and just doing literally everything that like every nut. It was like everything was like an Allen head with a beauty washer on it. And just like really want to do all the details. And then the engine harness was like, yeah, this has got to go. So yeah, I took the factory wiring harness and documented in a very nerdy spreadsheety way all of the connectors, researched what their like manufacturer part number is. Like
So, all right.
like Sumitomo's and
So nerdy spreadsheet way, right? Was this one spreadsheet that just said
There's a few.
this color, or did you create pages
Yeah.
to the okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't like wire colors so much as it was like each of the connectors and their pinouts.
Yep.
So then like my long-term plan is to build another harness that has one main bulkhead going to the firewall and using like
Everything off of that.
a motorsport harness connector for that. But for this one, it's like made to work with the factory ECU and the factory connectors on it.
Right. So
So,
still
yeah.
going through the firewall and still
Yeah,
landing.
yeah, and those same factory. Well, I've relocated those, but still using the same plugs.
Okay.
So basically, yeah, I documented the whole harness, and then I have some other like different sensors and gauges that I wanted to incorporate in the harness as well.
Yep.
So yeah, I like documented the whole thing, and then reconstructed it with new plugs, new terminals, and loomed it all with
So with
Raycam.
the plugs in particular,
Yeah.
were you using OEM or was there another
Yeah.
brand that you could adapt.
No, I found all of the OEM part numbers.
I was
and
searching
this,
for the website.
This
You sent
company
it to
here,
me.
Corsa Technic.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that company. Their website is like I don't know if it's not like really fancy.
No, it's not.
I don't want to say anything not nice about it because it's outstanding. But it's like it's not like real. It's not like you guys familiar with like McMaster car?
Yes.
Like McMaster car.
I mean, what a book. You know what?
I have one.
We don't have one here. I don't know why we don't
I have one.
I think you could just like
We
go
can
on
use
the
it as a
website and say, I
doorstop.
want a book.
Yeah, we get one at Bag Riders because I guess we order enough throughout the year
Yeah.
that we like qualify for it. But yeah, like that, like super thick.
Oh
book.
my god,
it's amazing.
It's like a brick tall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is a weapon of a
It
piece of literature
seriously
for
is,
sure.
dude.
It's like
You
it
can-
puts a phone book to shame.
Like you could just carry that with you into the woods and you'd have fire for a year.
Yeah.
unbelievable.
It's unreal. So their website's nothing like that, but I was able to find all of the part numbers for the OEM connectors.
Well, their website's
It's
nothing.
nothing like that.
Perfect.
So yeah, here you go. It's
Oh yeah, they're busy racing.
it's practical.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I found all the right connectors, and then purchased all of them and their terminals, and went about rebuilding that wiring harness.
That's it.
And I thought, yeah, so you just do this for a lot of time.
For everything.
It's purposeful. I mean, it's all right here.
It is
Right.
all there.
It
Yeah.
just it ain't fancy, but it's there.
Yeah, so if you look hard enough, you will find it. In my experience,
Yeah.
So I looked long and hard for a while and found all the connectors and all the right terminals and got a couple of nice crimping tools, and then like Sumitomo, a lot of those are
I
the
was gonna say those. Yeah, that's chocked full of.
yeah. So like
connectors
I want
there.
to say I had there's all these different connectors.
Are
on
there
there.
a lot of OEM Deutsch connectors? Like the 4-prong or 2-prong?
I use those on like in my harness in a couple of places, but not to my experience like on like vehicles. No, but yeah, like I have like Deutsch connectors in a number of places. On my WRX's harness, like for like the aftermarket, like I have
Yeah, random
like
shit.
one plug that has like the gauge inputs on it.
Yeah.
And those are all for like a Deutsch connector. And then as well for like I made like a kind of like a halfway harness for like the alternator just to like facilitate engine removal, which seems kind of weird, but I thought it was cool. So because usually if the wiring harness like comes in, you have to like pull it all out of there. So I thought it'd be cool just to have a nice disconnect at the end of the wire.
Right,
Oh,
right.
there it
Just
is.
here's my quick. Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So it's got that one big fat.
It
Deutsch
sounds
connector.
it sounds like you're frequent of removing said engine.
Yeah, I guess so. I just like and same like the fuel lines. I did like quick disconnects on those, so it's like you get like a dry brake, so you could like pull the fuel line, and
Yep.
it's like race car stuff basically. You're probably familiar with that stuff, but
He
it's,
definitely knows about that race car life.
Yeah, race car life.
The
but-
liquid cooling for PCs, same shit.
Yeah. So I know that given it's a Subaru engine, it's not long for this world. So
It looks very pretty though.
no, thank you. I do appreciate that.
Did you like lengthen stuff? Did you kind of take advantage of
oh,
like?
sorry, yeah. Definitely, like I laid out the wire harness like as I wanted on the engine, with like all the sensor runs being like exactly the right length. Like compared to the factory harness, like a ton of plugs have been removed for
Yep.
like all of, all of the emission stuff is definitely still on the car,
Right.
and those are all still there functioning.
Just
Yeah.
rerouted.
It's all still there.
Yep,
yeah.
all still there.
But yeah, this is some of the stuff you were talking about. We're like kind of piping it exactly how you want,
exactly
where
where I
you
want it to be. And then making sure any plugs that I don't need aren't there. And then even like things like it's no longer like it has like a speed density sensor on it, or IAT sensor rather. So like make that part of the harness so it's not just
Right.
like a-
Right.
like
Just
a,
the foreign wire by itself.
Exactly.
Just-
Make. I want it to be like that's how the harness would have came with the car. If that's how the car came,
Yeah.
basically, I really strive for that level of like quality, in my endeavors out in my workshop. And then my other car there, my red car, is a Legacy GT Spec B. That there's a nice before and after. I bought it, as many of us do, as a daily. And then one thing led to another. And that car I learned an awful lot about I learned a lot and grew as like a DIY car guy. Like I taught myself body work.
I was
Like
gonna say you
painted
painted this,
I
right?
did. I painted that car.
Yeah.
I painted that myself. Did that wide body kit. I rebuilt that engine as well. That was like a complete engine rebuild, like down to the bottom end. So
More
that got
photos in there.
new. I think this is another.
Oh, some
yeah,
other stuff.
Yeah, that was from my WRX. Yeah, that looks much more Subaru-y at the top.
Yeah.
Jeez,
That's how they
defined.
intended.
Yeah.
looked like a grenade went off right in the center.
That's how they come.
I can see why you want to clean up that harness.
Yeah, they said
So
it.
like, dude, it's not a good look when you park.
Yeah, it's
in.
already.
There's a leak
itself.
coming out from underneath.
Oh
it.
no, that's the AC. That's the
Ah.
AC condensation. It must- what day was this? 7 weeks ago? That must have been like the middle of July.
Right.
July
right.
14th, man. I
Yeah.
was a hot one.
I think it.
Oh hey, yeah. I didn't realize the dates at the bottom.
Yeah.
I think it wet
yeah.
its pants at thinking about you doing pulls in it.
Tires
Probably.
still got the stickers on it.
Oh
There you
yeah,
go. Brandy new.
had those
Yeah,
stickies on.
mounted.
But yeah, that car like taught myself that sort of like body work. I actually painted it twice because the first time I tried, I basically tried to like make my whole workshop a paint booth,
Mm-hmm.
and then I learned that that's not the way to do it.
Lot of dust.
Lot of dust. Really, the biggest problem for me was I didn't have adequate ventilation.
Yeah.
So like, especially when spraying the clear,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, clear.
couldn't see shit.
Can't see shit in there, and it's already hard to see clear on
Yeah,
the car.
it's already hard to
The
see,
mist.
especially like as a new person to it.
What'd you
know.
do? Throw like 10 of those Walmart box fans at the bottom of your garage door, and then
You know it, brother.
right into filters. I mean, you totally had a correct
Ventilation
filtering
system.
Yeah, it was
That was up to
extreme-
code.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
and all the emissions.
whatever,
Yeah.
40 stage filtering system. And then what I ended up doing after I messed up the first time, like I was like, okay, this didn't come out the way I wanted it to. Fortunately, the door jams and everything came out pretty good.
Yeah.
So I sanded all the panels back down and like put the doors back on the car, and then I built like a spray booth in my shop out of. It was around the time that wood was really expensive.
Yep.
For whatever reason that was. So I used
Tariffs.
2x3s instead of 2x4s to try to save a few bucks. And literally just like, it was a pretty legit setup
Yeah.
like I made it out of like, wood and plastic and used like a whole house extractor fan.
Yep.
So like when that thing kicked on, like the sides of the booth like sucked in. So it was like, I was like, oh yeah.
Legit.
Now we're talking.
Now they have inflatable ones.
Yeah, I've seen
I
those
was just gonna
too.
say we
yeah.
were talking about them just the other day.
Yeah, I seen, and it's the temptation's always real. But I'm like, let's just do.
How
it
often
this
you gonna
time.
paint a car?
Hopefully not again.
Ever.
So yeah, I learned.
So you did a new game plus.
Yeah, I learned why they call it body work, and not body fun. It's it is work, and it's hard, and truly respect for the people that do that, like all
Day in,
every
day out.
day. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's just like there's no, like many things. It's like all in the prep work, and there's no way to rush it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
There's no.
especially like as a newcomer.
No
to it.
shortcut.
No.
Yeah.
If and like going to SEMA and seeing some like cars with like just like super flat panels that are like like those older cars are like
Just perfect. Yeah.
straight glass down the
Yeah.
side, and you just like, oh, I have such a huge degree of respect for that. Like after going through my own old Subaru trying to shine it up, and I'm
That
like,
and like the lowrider paint jobs.
oh my,
To
yeah,
where it's
God.
like
oh my gosh, yeah,
50 layers
Yeah.
of and you have to think so far ahead.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
That and like I'm glad you mentioned lowriders. Is that's like I love seeing them at SEMA, especially because you see like all like the hand
Proper,
artwork,
yeah.
like the engraving on like the hydro setups and everything. It's
Yep.
just like so cool.
Yeah.
And I like really don't like that's not for me. Like as far as like a car, but like I just have so much admiration for the artwork that and
Seeing
like,
it.
the
Yep.
skill it takes. And there's not like a computer involved here. We're just like it's a person that's so talented.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
And it's hours upon hours.
And it's no cheating, no rushing. It's just
Yep.
like this is what
Time.
it takes to get it done. And I think that's an art form. I think it's really cool.
Is there anything in the suspension world, maybe even bags in particular, that in the future you don't even have to like elaborate on it,
Sure.
but is there technological advances that you're like, whoa?
Someone mentioned those magnetorheological dampers.
Mhm.
Having those like in a more of a like an aftermarket space would be
A consumer level.
Yeah, so cool. Like that would I think that would be really outstanding for
Yeah.
a lot of different things. But I don't think that's I don't think that's reason like likely to happen.
Right.
The trickle down effect of that's
Very unlikely.
we're a long ways out from
Yeah,
that.
like I think Larry from Ammo was like kind of talking a little bit about like the trickle down effect of like coatings, especially.
Yeah.
And I think we do get that in the automotive world for sure, but not quite. I don't think we're gonna get it quite to that extent. Just so yeah, nothing really jumping out to me right
Okay.
now. As far as like the direction of cars and suspension modifications, like one thing that we're actively working on is what we refer to, and I think most people refer to as like Fooler modules, wherein you get like a car that has some type of an adaptive suspension and you want to get rid of that stuff and slam it.
Yeah.
That car is going to kind of get upset that you took its suspension out.
Yeah.
A lot of things you got to override.
Yeah. So, basically, you can plug in what we call a Fooler module into whatever the electrical connector was that went to the suspension part, and therefore the car thinks the suspension's still there.
Perfect.
And
happy.
essentially, you're just adding resistance
Yeah,
in most scenarios, right?
Right. So what we want to do for that is to offer these particular cancellation kits for limited vehicles in a plug-and-play manner. As pretty well, KW has a really great product, and they offer that for a lot of stuff. But and there's a few companies offering Fooler modules for various cars, but a lot of them have like just like exposed like open wires, and it's like, oh, go connect these somewhere in the car.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
that can be
Typically,
scary.
the car,
Is that little down?
the car that has that adaptive air suspension, is at such a high dollar amount.
Yeah.
You don't really want to be monkeying about.
I'm not trying to chop wires out.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
So that's
This
what I
is
was,
my 20-year-old
We're not
Subaru.
talking like a Mark V.
No, right.
that's what I was gonna say. Is a lot of this stuff seems like it's you plug this in, but then you can remove it.
Yeah,
as
right.
well,
And that's what we
not-
want to do with it. So I do see that as like the direction cars are going. Like I think we can all recognize there's like not like a decrease in technology happening in cars, which has like some ups and downs to it, depending on who you ask. But yeah, I think I'm happy for like bag riders being in the industry that we're in. Is that like I do expect that for years to come, people will continue modifying cars no matter what their powertrain happens to be, and if it's not a combustion engine, they can still lower it.
Yeah.
Make it
So-
look good.
Right. Yeah. Or at least lower it.
That's a constant.
Yeah.
So
It really
lower
is.
it.
That,
At least
that's,
lower
no
it.
matter what's propelling the vehicle,
Yeah. You
And
can
how
still
ugly it
slam
is.
it.
it
lower
can
it.
always look better low.
You can
Yeah.
still slam it.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
right.
we do like that. And that's one area that we want to expand into is that marketplace. Especially as like it's an appropriate thing to add as a option when you're purchasing an air ride kit for one of those cars.
Yeah.
So like that's something that we would then that's the next step there is to include those in our kit selections on our website.
We mentioned the semis earlier, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
run giant bags. Does anybody bag those? Is there like a market for those things? I'm just being.
I'm sure there is,
Dumb and
but
curious.
it's not one that I'm
I usually
familiar
see.
with.
I don't know if the terminology is correct, but the cab,
Yeah.
the front
yeah.
portion, I see those get really dialed in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've
And
seen
I
Yeah.
can't tell if they just have like
Wheel
big
fitment
skirts
and- right.
and big air air
Yeah.
dams in front, or they're actually lowered.
Yeah, I really don't. I
It's
know what you're
cut
talking
springs.
about.
It's cut
like one of those
springs for
things
sure.
that, like, when you see it, you're like, damn,
Yeah.
Right.
what's cool about that?
That dude's got a rig.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, there's one right there.
I don't know what I'm looking at, but I know it's
Yeah.
cool.
I seen one dude. It was like around here, full Gulf
really.
livery. Like
Wow.
his trailer, the cab, and the I don't know, the front end, whatever you want to fucking call it.
Yeah.
Where he does his business.
Yeah.
The whole thing was
The
immaculate. His office.
The office.
His
Yeah.
office.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you see stuff like this. There's definitely people doing this stuff.
Yeah.
There's a company in
But I can't tell, is that
Right, is
lowered?
that-
Or is it just a giant?
I mean that what are we gonna call
think
that?
it's a body
His
kit.
front lip.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a body kit. I think.
Look at
'Cause there's
that
a,
is
There's
tough.
a company in Connecticut that does this. That makes
He's
custom
even
trucks.
wait. It's got the extended doors?
No, just the doors open. That's all.
Oh Jesus, it's blending in so much. I'm like, it looked like it was
Got that
sticking out.
candy
Okay,
paint job
yeah.
on there,
No.
man.
That's
you
why.
should see. I'll send you pictures.
There's a crew. I mean, there's people doing this, man.
Yeah, they polish the whole like lift deck trailer.
Oh my gosh.
So these dudes have like these huge lift deck bucket trailers that are like fully polished
Yeah.
and they're up in the air like this.
I have such like a love-hate relationship with polished aluminum. Like my WRX, all the aluminum in the bay is polished.
Yep.
And that's all me. And man, I love how it
You
looks.
did all that?
I did.
Do you have arthritis?
I have problems, man. Like,
Right between the keyboard and carpal tunnel, dude.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
Yeah. And
Maybe
now,
crippled.
I mean, I'm 37 now, so I really do try to be like attentive to my posture.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
those sorts of things. But yeah, you know, all that aluminum polishing, just I have to sit there and question myself. What am I doing?
Especially in Vermont, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's just gonna oxidize almost overnight.
Yeah, well, I mean that is the case with aluminum. It's like I think it's like it instantly starts to oxidize.
Yeah.
and that's like the second that's why when you're TIG welding it, you need to be welding it on alternating current because you're first cleaning and then you're penetrating. So it's
Yep.
alternating the current, being electrode positive, electrode negative to
Yep.
be able to get through that oxidation layer. So that's just a
The
challenge.
technology we need: powder chrome that actually looks
Mm.
chrome.
I bet. Yeah. I don't
need that.
I've like rejected the thought of like I've had so many people be just like, yo man, just send that stuff off to get chrome, and I'm just like, no, I refuse.
I don't even know. There's like
Chroming is
it's like not even around as much anymore.
Yeah,
there's a lot of places.
Yeah.
So there's Connecticut plating. There's quite a few in Connecticut actually.
Okay,
yeah.
I stand corrected.
There's a few places suspiciously on the border of Southern California. And I'm not quite sure it happens in that facility.
Yeah.
But
Right,
it might
right,
happen
right.
a few
Across the
miles
street.
south. a
Yeah,
few
yeah.
miles south.
Black.
All I know is it's just like for me, it's just such a. I just love the look of it, but there's no two ways around it. Kind of sucks to do.
Yep.
Yeah,
What's your beef with chrome? Wait, why don't you polish it and then Cerakote clear it?
That would be really smart to do.
Yeah. You should watch the ad for that. They piss on it, shoot it.
Is that the first thing they do?
It's like one of them.
Check this out.
It's
That's
one
a
of the-
wild way to open
Yeah,
it up.
yeah.
It's literally
yeah.
one of the things they do because it's like acidic or whatever.
Oh.
We just
Yeah,
spent
that-
4 days polishing this. What do you want to do, Tim? Fucking pee on it.
Yeah, they like polish half and half of a drum, or they
Yeah.
and then Cerakote clear it.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that because it is like even just now it's just the car's been sitting there in my shop. I'm like, well, I gotta polish this again.
I'm pretty sure it's air cure too. I don't
Yeah.
even think you have to bake that.
No,
one.
yeah, there is some. I am somewhat familiar with parts of like Cerakote's product line, and I do know they have some like air cure stuff that doesn't
They're sick,
require.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're high temp Cerakote stuff's like really cool. Not
Yeah.
bad, but you
I
can sponsor
actually
us.
have an air dry black Cerakote kit at
Yeah.
home for like a small like almost like
It smells terrible.
yeah.
Yeah, you'd be all right.
That's why I have extremely adequate ventilation.
True. Now you do.
All those 10 fans.
Also,
Yeah.
if you're trying to do black chroming, that's hard to find.
Sure.
That
I
was-
mean, the whole chroming process
Is
is
wild.
a process.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Also,
was-
you can powder coat chrome,
Yeah.
chrome dip stuff. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Or just like plating in general. You ever like
Plating,
You
yeah,
ever
it
look
just-
into like DIY zinc plating?
It's
or
crazy.
anything?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Fucking cool.
Here, we need this, 24-volt DC battery
Yeah.
in a 5-gallon pail,
Yeah.
and this
Don't
five,
ask questions.
5 chemicals that
get
will melt
everything?
your hands off.
Yeah.
If you get everything, you've got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And everything is obtainable. There's a gentleman, RRC.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Restorations?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
He's done an entire
Oh,
video
I
breaking
sure
it
am.
down.
Yeah, it's like a 40-minute video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like followed it. And
Yeah.
piece by piece, you can get it all on
Yeah,
Amazon.
there's like a couple
like
hundred-
Prime in like 2 days.
Yeah. No, yeah.
My
There-
coworker like built one with like Dell power supplies and he cut the ends off. And
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
an electrolysis
Yeah.
bucket.
Yeah.
There's a guy that had a like machine shop across the street from Bag Rider's original old location.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I went over there when he was doing some play, I was like, "What are you doing over here?" It's like
What is
wires and batteries and buckets. I'm like, "This, I gotta leave."
Why did this stuff shouldn't mix?
Yeah,
So,
I'm
yeah.
out of here, man.
Yeah.
No,
Walter
it's-
White.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's literally it's just like, but I've with this fascination of like making things like look new, and
Yeah.
I love like restoring parts as well. That's like I'm currently like, in the process of restoring a bunch of parts for my WRX drivetrain. I bought like a STI dropout drivetrain out of that, so like just like going over like the knuckles and rebuild all the axles and the brake calipers and everything, and just like really I love the tedious process of like restoring things to like a beautiful or whatever condition.
Nice finish.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I've like really started to look into zinc plating stuff. But I also found a company like in New York, I want to say, that like you can just send them. They'd charge like a flat rate per pound.
Yeah,
Bucket.
I
Yeah.
went in with Tobias.
Oh, really?
We sent 12 BBS bolts worth of or 12 wheels.
Yeah. Okay. So
of BBS bolts to-
480. Or they're 35 hole.
So I had they
36?
were my RM, so they're
Yeah.
32 or whatever
Okay,
they
yeah.
are.
Math.
But and I actually think his RMs as well.
Yeah. Okay.
But we sent them all out, got them all silver zinced.
Nice.
Super nice, very nice.
Yeah. I just
think
always love that.
Places that charge like $100 a bucket, like a 5-gallon bucket.
Just a bucket.
Mhm.
Damn. Yeah.
brackets you can throw in there, bolts, whatever you can
Yeah.
fit in the bucket, and they charge you by the bucket.
Zinc it
Yeah.
up. If it's metal, they'll zinc you.
Yeah, I just I always wonder about like for something like that, like how are they going about doing the prep work for it that like is going to ensure like a really great outcome.
Right.
'Cause
I
I'm
wonder if
surprised.
they, or do they just dip it in a bath? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah,
a
They probably
big
blast it.
basket and
Yeah,
I'd
I
assume
think
they
like
blast
vapor
it.
blasting is like one of the primary ways of
So
cleaning them up.
We used to do. We had an FFL at the powder coating place that we worked at, and we would take a lot of small things, and we had like a basket,
Oh yeah.
and you can put the shit in the basket and just blast the side of the basket, and it would
Oh.
surprisingly get everything off of them.
Oh, I gotta try that. I'm always trying to like sandblast small. I have a blast cabinet in my shop, and I'm always trying to sandblast bolts. I'm like
Yeah, you can
attaching them to things and like
no,
just-
just
Right.
put them in that bucket, and you just jostle it around while
Huh.
you're blasting the side, and you'd be surprised.
I will try that. That sounds
There
like a
you
good
go.
plan.
You can tell when you learn something new in revival motoring.
Always do.
I don't know about that, big guy.
Always. Oh, hey, you learned something.
We learned last episode that you can sit in a porta potty at Thompson and open the door and watch people pass.
it's true. And then the next day, somebody tagged us in a video of some dude watching Rally as he's shitting.
Yeah.
I love that.
You know, it works.
Wasn't
Yeah.
there like for a while there was like a bunch of talk about like crabs on here too, right?
Chicken.
Yeah.
They love
Chicken
chicken,
and water,
chicken, yeah.
crabs.
Yeah.
Crabs love chicken and water.
I know
Yeah.
a little bit about everything, but not everything about most
Yeah.
things.
Can fish for crabs with chicken.
Oh,
They
you know,
love it, dude. The
Fish
chick
for
crack.
crabs. Totally unrelated, but we're here now. So
Where are you? We're here.
I grew up in coastal Maine, and my grandparents had a camp like right on the water, and it's like now shared by like my mom and dad and like siblings. Anyways, fish for crab off the dock there
Mhm.
with a drop line, anchor, and we'd always use bacon.
Bacon?
Bacon.
Yeah, and the crabs love the bacon.
Cooked or uncooked?
Uncooked.
Uncooked.
Okay.
Uncooked.
I mean,
and
who-
still, you know,
who
to this
doesn't
day,
love
you know,
bacon?
still go down there.
Yeah.
Like had my nieces and nephews last summer came up. They're all like under 11. Now they're under 12 years old. But anyways,
Must have blew their mind.
oh, they had such a blast. And then we get them all in a bucket, and then we do a crab race. So we dump the bucket on the dock, and they all scatter away. And there's always a couple that just like kind of stop and like what, and then we help them off. But,
Yeah.
yeah, they're all small crabs, not like stuff that you would eat. So
Yeah.
I wonder what else you'd catch with bacon.
We caught lobster.
I was just, that's what I was wondering.
Just
Like,
about
if a
anything.
lobster's going to,
Yeah.
lobster and octopus,
I think really just crabs and lobster.
shellfish.
Yeah.
Some
for-
crustaceans.
sure, Yeah.
Jesus.
We get, yeah, we'll fix that after. I think that just about does it.
Hell of a
Do
discussion.
we have, I know, it's
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
I'm like,
so informative, and I'm truly fascinated by, like, you have a business to run. You have a family. There's employees, there's all sorts of stuff, but you have the passion to dive into the product. Just
Like I said, for us, it's like there's no other way to do it.
right.
You know, that's what it comes down
And
to.
I think that speaks volumes, especially in today's world, for sure.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I just really hope that we're able to keep doing it for many more years to come, and
Yeah.
love being part of the car community. And knowing you guys, well, especially you, Josh, for a long time.
Yeah.
Knowing you guys more.
Yeah, I was gonna say since roughly like 2009, 2010, something like that.
a long time.
seems like
Yeah.
the birth of Bag Riders.
Yeah, but that's the thing, because it
It
was,
was, yeah.
we were around for the Gang Stout stuff,
Yeah.
and John Stairs was heavily into the bag stuff.
Yeah.
And then very, very quickly, John met John and
Yeah.
Will, and like very much everybody kind of came into the fold and running their products on multiple different cars and all that sort of stuff. So it was just,
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
It's
it
been
was
a
awesome.
really awesome journey. And I remember Gangs Out was one of, I think Gangs Out really helped us grow our Facebook. Like when we first created a Facebook page, which I remember was something that we were like, oh, we're not going to do it.
yeah, yeah.
Which, like, good thing we did.
Yeah.
This is like 2009, right? Or
Yeah,
2010
yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
And Gangs Out gave us a shout out, and that gave us like a big bump of followers at the time.
It's awesome.
that
Yeah.
was- I remember that.
It's great. It's
Yeah.
great. And it's, again, truly, 16 years is a long time for anything, yet alone a homegrown standalone company.
Yeah.
Everybody still talks to each other and still wants to go in the same direction. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of positives there.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely don't like hang out outside of work like as much as we did like back in the day. But as you said, like we're all like older, have families now. Like
Yeah.
Kevin and I live like the closest together out of all of us. We're both what we say up north.
Yeah.
20 minutes north of Burlington, so like not that far north.
Yeah.
So,
let me
Out
let me
there-
schlep my way home.
out there in the woods. So
Yeah.
we hang out. I guess more often than I do with the other guys. But yeah, no, we're all still great buddies.
Yeah. And truly, thank you for making the trek out here, because it's not like it's an easy ride of 20 minutes away. We're a solid
Oh.
4 hours, something like that.
You're
Yeah.
4 hours.
Oh, it was actually 5 hours. I have my I have my wife and daughter with me. My daughter is will be 2 in November, and we had to make a couple of stops
Yep.
for poopies.
Quick
Um,
pit stops. Yeah.
Shook as well.
Where are they right now? In the car?
Yeah, they're just out in the car. No,
What is happening?
they're at a hotel. Yeah, no. My little daughter was just kept yelling at us in the back seat, poopy. Like, all right, we're stopping again.
All right.
Hey,
happens.
it's your world.
So that's not much has changed.
Yeah.
That's all right.
No, dude. If I have to ever have to shit and I'm in Burlington, I'm just gonna knock on the bag
Just-
riders
yeah,
door
shit.
and scream poopies.
No, we got 4 bathrooms, dog. You're
Oh, I
welcome.
can
any-
shit all
Yeah,
day.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Very nice
any day.
bathrooms, too.
Thank you.
Very,
Thank
very-
you.
The whole facility. Honestly,
Thank you.
the whole facility.
I know. I gotta come look at it.
I was just saying, yeah, I keep saying I gotta go check it out, but at
Gotta
some
go.
point we'll find our way up there.
When I was up there, it was like musts. It was like the Bag Roast Barbecue was on the must list.
Yes.
There were other things that were like, if we make it, cool. If not, whatever. Bag
That was
Roast
a
Barbecue must.
Well, thanks for coming by, man. It was
Yeah.
great seeing you and talking to Phil for a while.
Yeah.
I did mention to Phil, I think while you were there, I was like, man, I feel like last time I saw you must have been like at like a Subaru show like 10 years ago. And then I messaged him on Instagram,
Yeah.
and sure enough, the last message was from July 2015.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh,
dude.
it really
Perfect.
was 10 years
You
ago.
good with that memory?
That's
memory.
He
wild.
definitely had his WRX. Then.
Yeah, he had that white WRX. I
Yeah,
remember.
that's where the birth of four-door Phil came from.
Yeah.
I
right.
think of whenever I think of bag riders, I think of Ocean City,
Cool.
the one lane, and I would always walk through. They'd always have all the fucking banners off the porches.
Oh yeah, at the condos. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
did that for We had some fun times at H2O, man.
Yeah.
There was a red 240,
Yeah.
a green rabbit golf. I don't know what the fuck that thing was.
I don't know.
There's so
the
many
red,
bag cars over there.
The red Liberty Walk BMW that was on the screen earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We did that in like a Red Bull livery, in like a not authorized Red Bull livery.
Yeah.
And we like put together some goodie bags and we were like cruising the strip, throwing them out the window.
Yeah.
And we had like boxes of Red Bull with us and we're just like handing them out.
Yeah.
It's
And
that
then-
guerrilla marketing.
It was guerrilla marketing, and then we got cease and desist from Red Bull, and we're like,
That's sick.
Yes,
we did it.
That's crazy.
We tickled the bear.
Yeah.
I think, honest God,
there it is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought that came
Hey,
out pretty sick.
Dude, the internet has everything.
that is cool. Because, like, the following year, some kid copied that, and it was not nearly as cool.
Oh, and there's our buddy Joey. This was at 1 year out at SEMA, and that drone flew away into the desert.
Never to be seen again. It just flew into the abyss.
I mean, that's all
I
right.
don't know what happened.
That one right behind Shook, the last time I turned that on. Actually,
Oh,
the
yeah,
last
you
two
mentioned
times.
that. Yeah.
The last
It
two
wants to
times.
fly.
Once it hit Corey's Polo,
Yeah.
and then the time after that, it just started to fly towards the gas tanks.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right, if I
Yeah.
ever see this thing again, it's never going up in the air.
And that must have been like, I don't know, 2015, 16,
That's
somewhere.
I was
in
gonna say
there,
that's
so-
early drone because that thing's
Yeah.
gigantic.
I flew
Yeah.
that exact model under a bridge,
Yeah.
a concrete bridge, a massive one on
Yeah.
the highway,
Yeah.
and it I guess concrete's not great for connection. 'Cause
Reception,
or
no.
whatever.
It like
Yeah.
did this twice and then went full blast and hit a boat.
Oh no.
Not any boat. Old Saybrook PD. And then it went into the water.
Oh.
And then I had to walk over there and be like,
Oh no.
hey, you guys see a manned
You guys see a UAP?
UAP?
Oh, man.
I wasn't trying to drone strike anybody over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I mean, that was well before Ukraine. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It
Nobody
was
really had a
brand
clue.
new.
Yeah.
I flew it like 3 times.
Yeah.
Water.
So we got some good stills out of that, but we did not get the drone footage.
I could show you the drone footage of me crashing that fucking thing.
Yeah.
Solid.
So if
Now
anyone
you can
finds you
call-
out there in the desert of Nevada,
Yeah.
Somebody probably
It's
did,
there.
and they were like, "This goddamn alien." Fucking Area 52.
It started the whole thing.
Yeah.
Bob Lazar is out there just picking up drones. John, thank you very much for coming to hang out.
hey, thank you again for the
Hope,
invite.
hopefully tomorrow you enjoy your day in Providence.
Thank you.
With the family.
May I ask you for some tips?
I was,
Yeah.
he was
Steak
going to
tips.
suggest that.
You should go to Los Andes.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Big shouts to everybody in the chat. Everybody who's going to Roots, drive safe. Have a lovely time. Enjoy yourselves there. And that is going to do it from us.
See you next week.
That's all we got.
Thank
Peace
you,
out.
everybody.
Thank you for teaching me that this is an Air Spring.
Air Spring.
Air Spring Riders.
Airspringriders.com.
Yeah, Air Spring.
Big shouts. See ya.